there's always a hope. Rise and fight.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another BSL 15. We are finally in the championship rounds here, and we got a couple exciting matches to get started off with here today. And joining me is my very handsome co-caster, Raz. Raz, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing today?
Yeah, man, I couldn't be better. We got some pretty incredible matches. We're getting down to the cream of the crop in the scene at the moment. Yeah, man, I am stoked to be here, and I know we're going to get to see some amazing games today.
Yeah, these are going to be some high-level matches, high-level players. We're getting deeper in the tournament. We wouldn't expect anything but the best of play from all of these players. Definitely exciting to see some more of the Chinese players mix it up with some of the NA players. So I'm definitely excited to see how this first match of KwarK and XiaoShuai is going to go. Two very strong players. KwarK, very good at PvZ, likes that heavy upgrade styles. Two forages always right away. We'll see how the Zerg can combat that style. If he's going to be aggressive or he's going to draw it out, should be interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting tell. You do mention that KwarK does typically enjoy that two forge kind of opener. You know, he has a really strong late game. I feel like as the game goes on, KwarK not the kind of player to really cut corners here and there, but at the same time, he's also a player that stands out to me that comes to each and every single one of these matches with a game plan. Whatever that is, it's going to be, exciting. It's typically going to be unexpected. And I mean, how do you game plan for, such a strong Chinese up-and-coming Zerg like XiaoShuai? We did see him fall to the loser bracket yesterday in a very, very intense and close series versus Ziki. Honestly, a little bit of a shocker there, but maybe not. Ziki is so strong, Zerg versus Zerg, and we've seen XiaoShuai fall previously, in the ZVZ matchup. Who was the other Chinese Zerg he lost to last time? It was totally blanking out.
Dugu.
Yeah, Dugu. It was Dugu, exactly. So Dugu, kind of outperformed him in a close series in that Chinese qualifier. But, XiaoShuai is the one moving on here. He's still, moving forward through this bracket. He did fall, obviously, to the loser bracket to be where he's at the moment. But either way, he's shown phenomenal Zerg versus Protoss prowess in the past. And I'm kind of interested to see how these two are going to match up.
Yeah, one question we've always talked about is, do the Chinese players go out and look at a lot of these games? Like, are they prepping the same way as a lot of the other players and watching the game, seeing what they're doing? Will he know that KwarK is pretty much exclusively a Forge open player? Will he have something up his sleeve, maybe like a 3-hatch before pool type of thing, to kind of mix in something to be extra greedy while these games are going on? So it'll be interesting to see what he has prepped as well.
The more I think about that question, the more I kind of realize that I think the map pool in general tends to favor Forge openers this time around, right? Like you see big maps like Butter, maps like Monopoly, which are really great for these Forge openers in general. I think that obviously a player like XiaoShuai is going to be very practiced against that, and should be anyway, spending a great deal of time practicing matches throughout this map pool. So I feel like it won't come as a surprise here that KwarK tends to do, go for those Forge first openers. But, I've seen KwarK also go from a 1-gate, opener into proxy 2 gates at a third base or something like that. So you can never really count that out with a player like KwarK. We see here, look at that elo. Wow, 75% win rate versus Zerg here for KwarK in previous BSL matches. Very impressive. Obviously, XiaoShuai is Zerg's first season, so we don't really get to see those stats, but obviously he's, faced some very difficult opponents here to make it as far as he has so far.
Yeah, and you see that he's 2600 MMR from the ladder. I mean, that's a very, very, very high. I mean, to get to 2600, you have to be playing at a really good level. That's not something that just comes easy. I always tell people within that S rank category, every 100 points is like another skill jump. So to get to 2600, it's just very difficult. You're playing against some of the best. He is in the Asia region, so I'm sure he does hit a lot of other really strong players. So you know that he's going to be bringing some serious play today as well.
Man, he's so handsome in that suit. I wonder if he plays in his suit, you know?
Yeah.
I would
Steve
assume
Jung both playing in their suits, man. They both play in their suits. I love it.
Him and Steve Jung. Yep, I love it.
I love it.
Man.
So I believe our first map is Sylphid today, Machine. So you and I obviously play this matchup both ways here. ZVP Sylphid. I mean, I do agree with you. Forge openers are usually pretty common here because of the way the natural set up, because of the number of gaps, especially at that 12 o'clock base. But it is a short rust distance, so you could see a gateway open. It wouldn't be surprising. The one thing I would say for the Forge opening, if you get bottom right, it's not a good base to put a lot of cannons. So you are exposed to some 973 because of that base. So I'm interested to see where they spawn, because I think that might affect some of the game plan.
Yeah, like, let's say you're a player, you know, like DeWalt, for instance. DeWalt, if you're spawning bottom right, there's a 0% chance, I feel like, that's just a typical Forge expand. He will always go pressure gateway and try to, like, create madness out of that. Whereas, like, I'm not sure if that's 100% always going to be the game plan for a player like KwarK here. You know, there are ways to combat 973 on this map. Like, we've been seeing a lot more early Robo Reaver play, I feel like, versus Zerg on a map like this. So, you know, there's options for sure.
Yeah, and the other hard part is always that lurker contain. But I think we are ready for our first match, so let's get into it and we'll see what it has in store.
And spawning bottom left as the blue Zerg from China, it is XiaoShuai.
And in the bottom right, that red Protoss, it is KwarK. So right away, Machine, we see that KwarK did get that bottom right spawn. Most likely going to be a Forge opening from him. The question is, maybe he has a little better setup going on to get these cannons down, but I wonder if XiaoShuai will immediately be like, all right, I could put some pressure on this guy. Because I think we've seen a lot, especially in even the ASL this season, a lot of these 973 into early layers, early lurker, almost sometimes lurker before range if they don't commit to the 973 and just get these crazy contains, because this is a map that if you get contained in your natural, it can be very difficult to break up because of that third having a high ground right next to your natural. So,
and at the same time, I feel like with this map, you can't exactly count out Muta as well. It's also a wonderful, you know, mid-game Muta map. There's that neutral high ground between main and natural. Picking off Templar can be so easy here. You know, it is just difficult here for Protoss, especially given their base positioning. But KwarK recognizing that first Overlord, getting the first scout off, so they both know exactly where their opponents are early on here. Sees the overpool, and I think he's going to go Forge before Nexus, but this should probably be a Forge into a Nexus into Cannon. And yeah, no surprise here, you know, able to call it here early that KwarK does love his Forge openers in this matchup.
This is the nice thing about scouting first too, right? You can harass this natural. Just keep blocking it over and over. Now that you know it's an overpool, KwarK probably knows the timing, so he's just going to sit here with his probe now and keep blocking.
Ooh, that's such good control. He's blocked it every time. Oh man, that hurts. Like, you're never happy as Zerg. And there's no third drone out on the map, right? It's not like he could just be taking another base here. This is a little bit of a misstep from XiaoShuai. I don't even know why. He shouldn't have stopped blocking there. I think he should have just kept blocking, honestly.
Yeah, he could have just kept going over and over. I think he would have been able to block it infinitely or until the probe died. But yeah, I agree. That's definitely a little bit of a misstep. It's going to delay his natural, delay that larva count, right? Like, Zerg operates a little bit differently with those larvae spawning out of the hatcheries. So he will be slightly delayed to be able to get some more drones.
Yeah, it will only be slight. It looks like third hatchery's coming online. just now, which is completely fine. Gas inside the main. It's you know, that could be an early enough gas that we could still see Spire first opener. So KwarK can't count that out immediately. Gateway up at the natural, or building for KwarK at his natural here. Thespian guys are being mined from XiaoShuai. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty typical stuff here so far. I like the third base positioning for XiaoShuai. That's so far away from KwarK's main and natural. It's also a third gas base. I always think it's a big misstep whenever you see these Zergs take in mineral onlys first. And, ooh, probe goes down from KwarK. You never really want to lose the probe that early, especially when your wall is quite open like this.
Yeah, I mean, XiaoShuai already knows there's only one cannon. That is an extra gap in the wall between the forge and the gateway. He could have placed it up one little hex and he would have been able to kind of wall it off a bit. But to lose the probe only to do Zerglings really opens yourself up to a lot of nonsense possibilities from Zerg, right? Because now he doesn't know. He's playing in the dark. Is he making more drones, or did he just put on speed and make a bunch of Zerglings and do a run by? So this is the most difficult part I think about PvZ at times, is when you're in the dark, you don't know what's going on, you want to make sure that you don't die from these early busts. So we'll see what KwarK does. He's going to have a pretty good early Sair timing. It should be out pretty standard, 5:15-ish. So he will be able to get a scalp, but sometimes that scalp can be too late. But in this case, he's going to be just okay.
I actually think KwarK is maybe not in the best of positions here, because the layer started before the core even went down. This is going to be a well enough in time Spire that I don't think KwarK can even get an Overlord kill, especially if Overlords get pulled in time, which is exactly what's going on here. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, his second gas was pretty early too, so maybe we're going to see like a 1-1 type of timing here. Speed lot, Sair +1. I'm not sure if the core was already spinning for that +1 for KwarK, but yeah, you're right. His on top of his probes, doing a good job, making sure that he doesn't miss any probes whatsoever. Got a second cannon to be safe. We see him add quick archives. So I guess we're going to see some Sair DT style play out of KwarK, but you are right, Machine. That Spire timing is fast. Very, very quick.
Yeah, it's very speedy. Very, very speedy. Still, though, not a bad decision here from KwarK. I don't think he's going to get an Overlord, but we'll have to see. Maybe if he gets the one in the center, but that's about all he could really hope to do here. Still, though, that has to be one of the fastest archives I've seen. I almost feel like maybe this is a gut call. That, as you mentioned, that natural gas was very, very quick, so he's got the economy to maybe go for a quick Archon timing, maybe, is my guess, but I don't know. We'll have to see, you know, what he's choosing to do here.
Okay, I think KwarK does like this style build where he goes like these 3 DTs with the Sair, and he tries to just get in the base. Ooh. So I think this is something that he likes to do. He did get Overlord. He might get a second. We'll see if this one works out for him. It's going to be very close. These Scourge are undecisive. They don't know which way to go. There's so many Sair options. Oh no.
Oh man, that's a big mistake. You should know better, I feel like, being out on the map this long with Sairs. He does get another Overlord for his troubles, but man, these Sairs are so important in this early game. No cannon in the main either for
DT. We are going to see just nonstop DT. They do so much DPS, so he's hoping that there'll be one sunken like there is, and he'll just be able to bust it with the DT coming in here. But you're right, Machine. There are those Muta. He sniped one. There it goes.
DT forced it back out here. Yeah, Muta coming into the main, and Corsair is going to get caught out.
No cannon. Oh,
no cannon in the main either. This is really bizarre, I feel like. I think KwarK easily loses the Sairs here, but at least the Dark Templar are able to do some damage, pulling those drones out a little bit. But he's not going to be able to clear these Overlords.
Yeah, man, he is going to get some... I think we have 6 total on the map right now. Yep, there's some more. I do think this is good damage from KwarK to be able to get these drones pulled. I am concerned about the main though. Cannon just going down and a lot more Muta popping. He lost a couple Sair. His Sair count is low. +1 armor. I think we're going to see this mass Muta Scourge style coming in here where they're just going to try to bust right in because he knows, I already sniped 2 Sair. How many can you possibly have? So
I think he's sniped more than 2. I think he's lost like at least 3. And he's not building anymore, which is the bigger issue here. Yeah, these Dark Templar are going to do nothing. You know, this has been figured out. It's been held. At least there's 2 cannons in the main now. And oh no, is that +1 just starting?
+1 just starting, and we have the Carapace
cannon.
almost already done. He does see the Muta flying in. Scourge also coming with it. This is going to be a tough timing. I do like that KwarK is taking a third. That's what you want to do versus these Muta builds. But
yeah,
I don't know if he's able to hold.
Oh man, yeah, this is a misstep. It's gonna pull the Muta back though, and it's not like he's gonna lose a Dark Templar for it. So maybe that was a good call. But either way, man, if you're playing a player like XiaoShuai, if you've seen any of his games, you know he has amazing Muta control, and you need to spam those Corsairs 24/7 to be able to stand a chance against this. Honestly.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to be able to hold here. Oh no.
Yeah, that Templar getting caught out, that's very painful, but there is the 2 cannons in the main. Scouts the 5 Corsair. So, I mean, maybe there's a chance where XiaoShuai loses all the Muta here somehow, but it's not looking likely. Ooh, Storm.
Really good control.
Decent Storm, but yeah, loses another Templar for it. Really, the big tell here is going to be this third.
Yeah, I mean, the third is going to help him get that third gas up, be able to really start pumping out more tech, being able to get his upgrades going. He's going to have, I think, a weird timing here for a little bit because he's lost 2 Templar, and XiaoShuai knows that. As you can see, he's just pumping non-stop Hydra. I could see XiaoShuai just diving in with the Muta, killing a Templar or 2, and then going for a Hydra bus saying, oh, you only have 3 cannons and 1 Zealot? What do you have to defend 35 Hydra? What do you have?
Still, though, I mean, it's not like KwarK doesn't have the Corsair count he needs finally to just erase these Mutas. +1 will finish in time before these Hydras move across the map. And, I mean, you know what I always say. One of my biggest pet peeves in this matchup for Zerg is engaging in this Cannon Storm. So, I mean, like, it's a way you can win games as Zerg, but it's also a way you can just throw games completely.
I agree. I definitely hear you. I still am a little nervous for our Protoss player here because he has 1 Storm up, maybe a second. Tons of... Here it is. And here are the dive. 1 Templar down. 2 Templars down. 3 Templars down. The Sairs were out of position. The Muta are even going to get out still. Now we have 3 Zealots with no speed against a ton of Hydra. This is exactly what I was concerned about here, Machine. Oh no.
Yeah, you called it. I mean, Sairs were out of place for just a half a second, loses all the Templar, and I mean, one thing's for sure, just cannons won't cut it against this many Hydra.
Oh man, he might be able to snipe the Overlords and use the DT to defend. Oh no, they got caught out. Oh, there's GG from KwarK. Oh man. That's exactly what I was talking about, Machine. I was so nervous about it. I see all these Hydra start pumping out, right? Like, oh, you're not making any more drones? Yeah, you must be looking for the bust. And I like KwarK's build. I like the style he went for that fast third, right? He had the DT out. Really well done. The only problem with it was no units. So the Hydra's bus came in. The Mutas saw, hey, you have 2 gateways still, or 3 gateways. Like, where is everything? So he just dove in with those Muta, killed the Templar, and breaks down the front. Unfortunate.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I actually was starting to like, you know, KwarK's position the later the game got. You know, he was on even base with the Zerg. Zerg had no clue about the third. Even if he did, he had a good amount of cannon and a Templar there. You know, he could have moved some units around, possibly held it. But yeah, like against a player like XiaoShuai, if you get caught out of position with those Sairs for even, you know, 10 seconds, it could be game over. So well played there from XiaoShuai, taking a pretty dominant, you know, early lead here in this series against KwarK. And with that, it's at least going to be KwarK's map pick here. KwarK, a player who comes prepared, right? You could bet he's not just winging it on this next map pick. He's got something planned, and I'm kind of interested to see what that could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll pick like a 2-player map, keep things a little more simple. We have the score a little reversed. So if you're just tuning in, XiaoShuai did take the first game, not KwarK. But yeah, I mean, map pick here, I think a lot of good choices. So she's going to pick a map like Butter, and we're just going to play 2-player, and that way we could split the map. I feel like that definitely lends itself to KwarK style a little bit if he wants to kind of just sit, take bases, and do his thing.
Let me pick your Protoss brain here. What would you pick? KwarK aside.
So I do like Butter for PvZ. I do like the 2-player map. I do like the fact that you can threaten early with some types of cannon rushes if they really want to go like a 11 hatch. Oh, our map is Butter here, Machine. I think we're gonna be having it. So Protoss minds thinking alike here for KwarK and I. But what's nice about this map is that you can really start taking your third, kind of stop a bunch of the pathways, get on some high grounds if you can. But you also can do some great like little DT drops, things like that I know that KwarK does like, where if they're going to go 973, quick robo DT drop, main to main's very easy path to get there. So I think this is a really solid pick.
Can also do some funky stuff here with cannon rushes and things like that, but still I also think this is a great map for the selection. And with that, both of our players should be ready here. It's going to be XiaoShuai versus KwarK on Butter. Let's get to it. And spawning top right, as that blue Zerg hailing from China, it is XiaoShuai.
In the bottom right, we have KwarK, who is fighting for his life here in this game. His tournament life is on the line, so... Like I said, I think this is a safe pick, good pick, especially when you're down 0-1. You know a Forge first opener is totally fine here. So I think this plays right into what KwarK style likes, so we'll see if he just kind of keeps it goes.
Yeah, I think it's a great decision as well. I'm not gonna lie, I was half expecting that early probe to run across the map and maybe go for the crazy cannon rush on this, but I think once you get to this level, you just know that they've seen that so much. They know what to look for. You're not going to catch a player like XiaoShuai off with, a gimmick like that. So I actually think this is a great call from KwarK here.
Yeah, just play it out, play it standard, because I feel like especially we saw in the Asia Championships so much aggression like that these players are so used to seeing that all the time. So probably better off not going for it here. But that being said, Machine, I think we're going to see a hatch first.
I know. How funny is that? I was just thinking the same thing. Throughout the entire qualifiers, one thing I mentioned was the consistency at which all of the Chinese Zergs went 9-pool or overpool on this map every single game. And not just this map, so many different maps. But this has got to be one of the first times I've seen XiaoShuai pull out a hatch first here. And it could pay off for him here.
Yeah, well, we see that KwarK is actually going for the 11-11 build. It's where you go 11 Nexus, 11 Forge, and you still get the cannons in time for versus an overpool, which I assume he thinks that XiaoShuai is doing. So he's like countering this overpool build, but it's going to be a hatch first. So very interesting.
I mean, with that early of a Nexus, I feel like it's not the worst spot. He can macro his way out of it. But yeah.
I'd like to see him not even put down the cannon first. I know he has to because he didn't get to the base, but in scenarios like this, like going for maybe like the gateway first and then getting the assimilator taking your gas and delaying that cannon to get your tech ahead is, I think, really positive. But it's just unfortunate he didn't have the scout in yet, so he didn't know. But that's okay. Just a little bit of time and delay. No big deal.
This was a 240 gas out of XiaoShuai. That makes me think he's leaning towards early early Spire play once again here. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I see takes the third hatchery to the top left over there. I feel like when the Zergs take it towards you, it means more aggression. So maybe we'll just kind of see him kind of play it out from there with just that third base kind of just chilling. Maybe it seems
Yeah.
like maybe a lair again machine. Do we have enough gas for a Hydroden? We didn't get it, so yep, lair play again.
I mean, he seems very comfortable with it. I think in general, it's the better of the openers, right? Like on this map, not that you couldn't go 973, but rush distance is a big factor. And as you stated, he expanded away. You know, KwarK has full vision of the main with that probe. Maybe this is just a better, you know, option to go layer and aspire.
Yeah, I think him seeing what KwarK's build is too, that he knows like, all right, he wants that early Sayer type of thing. What is this probe up to?
Hide in the Stargate. That's a
hide in
very
this
fast Stargate.
I gotta say I don't love the positioning of the Stargate, to be honest with you, only because now you put a cannon there, it doesn't really protect your mineral line, and if the Zerg, I thought maybe we're gonna see a second Stargate, and if the Zerg mutant and Scourge get over your base, like how do you defend more Sayer coming out and your mineral line? You're almost committing to like 2 or 3 cannons for defense there.
Yeah, or I mean, just never losing air superiority. I feel like there is no room to slip up with your Sayers once you put the Stargate there. 8 lings streamed across the map here for XiaoShuai. We have speed almost complete. KwarK wisely pulling that probe up to complete the wall off. But here we go. XiaoShuai,
oh no! It's a 2-gapper. No. GG insta GG from KwarK. Oh man, not gonna try to play it out. That's so unfortunate.
It's a real heartbreaker, honestly. I didn't even think there was a hole in the wall, to be honest with you, but those Zerglings so slippery. Yeah,
they're on the summer diet machine, you know? After spring season is beach season, baby. They know that after this BSL, they had to get ready, so they cut some weight and they stuck through.
XiaoShuai just kind of testing the defenses there, and it, you know, unfortunately for KwarK, wasn't quite prepared. And I mean, with that will be the end of KwarK's tournament life. Still, though, exceptional play out of him this season, and he's really making NA proud, I gotta say, and really looking forward to seeing him compete in the next season of BSL. But once again, another one of these Chinese monsters moves on.
Yeah, I mean, good play from him. Unfortunate there. He didn't see that it was a 2-gapper. I mean, it didn't look like it, but it was, and it just happens. I think, you know, sometimes in these games, you're just going through it, making sure it's going on, and a little thing like that, and XiaoShuai immediately just jumps on it. He noticed it right away and said, I'm going to run by. Unfortunate, but well done from KwarK. We'll see XiaoShuai go into the loser bracket round 2.
Yep.
And up next, another battle of some titans, huh, Machine? TerrOr, HawK. I feel like these guys play a ton against each other.
Yeah, man. 2 American favorites. I mean, this is one of the the best foreign matchups I could possibly think of, right? TerrOr, such a monster, former BSL champion. I think he's just terrifying. You know, in this matchup in particular, TVZ, I've said it for a while, he has the best 8 racks opener of any foreigner, and, you know, knows when and where to use it, how to use it. But at the same time, man, he's going up against a juggernaut in HawK. I mean, he's the North American first place champion. I mean, he's shown that he is just a force to be reckoned with in this or any matchup. This is going to be an epic game, an epic series.
Yeah, really exciting. TerrOr, like you said, he has so many good build orders, so many good things that he could throw into the mix, TVZ, whether it's mech, whether it's bio, 8 racks, all these types of things. Definitely going to be keeping HawK on his toes, but HawK is a seasoned vet at this. He is good. He is strong. We saw him in a little show match the other day with Artosis, kind of showing some of his Hydra Lurk, Plague late game instead of that typical Defiler just with Ultra Ling. So he definitely has a lot up his sleeve as well. So I think we're going to see a really, really good matchup here.
Yeah, I genuinely think we will as well. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't even know who I'd favor in this because I think they're that close. I want to say, the only thing I'll say is I think the last time they met each other, HawK did come out the victor in some like Think Quick show matches that I was commentating. but it's still very, very close between the two of them. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, definitely going to be good. All right, we're going to jump into a little break here, but don't leave, don't go anywhere, because we are going to have TerrOr versus HawK next.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to BSL15 Championship Stage here. I am joined once again with my buddy Raz here, and Raz, we got an epic match lined up here next, man. It's gonna be TerrOr, it's gonna be HawK, two of the NA and South American favorites. Yeah, man, this is gonna be epic.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, the top players, very good. HawK, excellent, really experienced. TerrOr, former BSL champion. So that tells you what level he's playing at. Um, I mean, we can't ask for a better TBZ here. I think it's going to get really exciting. I think our first map is going to be Gladiator Machine. How do we feel about ZVT on Gladiator?
You know, ZVT Gladiator is a fun one. Back when Gladiator was really popular, you'd see a lot of mech play there. Controlling those high ground ridges in the center is, a pretty big deal, and usually it's easier for Terran to take the mineral only than go for like another gas base immediately. So I'm kind of interested to see if we might see some mech play out of TerrOr. I know TerrOr admittedly doesn't favor mech play, but obviously he is so good he can do it at a very, very high level. We also see a lot of wall offs from Terran on that map in particular. And with the low ground main, it can be a little tricky for Zerg to hold like another main early on as a third, but it's still very possible, I guess. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm kind of expecting mech here out of TerrOr.
Yeah, I feel like with all those high ground, low ground kind of ramps, like it allows for Zerg to kind of harass a little bit the bio balls that keep coming out. Like you'll be able to kind of push them back. You can keep kind of just flying up and down, up and down. But I do agree. I think from some of the games I've seen on this map for players playing, mech is pretty strong because of those high grounds for those same exact reasons. Tanks on the high ground are always absolutely lethal and brutal to deal with.
Yeah, tanks, mines, even like engaging up into the high ground. Like you can get some big connections with mines versus hydras if they don't have overlord spotting and things like that.
The
can be
game
pretty.
has started. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I didn't know you didn't know.
Okay. And it sounds like we are ready to get into game number 1 here. It's going to be TerrOr versus HawK on Gladiator. Let's get to it.
There we go. Just
and
screens over. Perfect.
Spawning top right as the red Terran, it is TerrOr.
And in the top left, it is HawK.
So as we mentioned right off the bat here, TerrOr with a wall off at the natural. This is very common, but this can provoke a response out of HawK if HawK recognizes it early enough. You do see sometimes like a 2-hatch lurker pressure play from Zerg here in order to kind of gain an advantage, let's say, against this wall off style. But if it gets scouted, and the gas in the main, scouted out very nicely there from KwarK. I think there's a good chance this is going to be mech, Raz.
Yeah, I think you called it. I think you said it. This is popular. He has the wall off. I think what's nice about the wall off 2 machine is that you can kind of play a little bit of mind games as Terran. Like, am I walling and am I taking a command center, or am I doing something funky behind it? And in this case, he is doing something a little funky behind it. But is this drone going to get in before the supply depot goes down, and he's going to be able to pick out the fact that this is mech?
I mean, even if it does, a lot of Zergs opt to just keep the drone out because now it's trapped. It's a dead drone. So you never really like seeing this. HawK at least going to get the most value he can with it. He's doing a little bit of damage to that SCV in the main. He knows going to be plenty of time to scout the Vespian Geyser, which it is. So he knows that he is definitely up against mech now, but I'm telling you, never like getting the drone trapped. I'm a little surprised he decided to scout inside the wall there. He's going to have to make a sunken either way now. It's just unfortunate.
So yeah, we'll see if TerrOr decides to get a little tricky with a scouting SCV and try to block some of that creep colony going down, he might get a little tricky. But nope, he's just going right into the main to get a full scout. Wants to see that lair timing, what's going on. So
Yeah.
far, pretty standard though from HawK, so nothing too crazy.
Yeah, just 2 hatch. Lair Spire works very well as an opener against mech. Some Zergs would prefer to go for like a quicker 3rd hatchery or something like that, but this is just as fine. I'd expect Spired. Oh my!
He killed a drone with the SCV. Oh no!
You can't ever look away with TerrOr, man. He does the craziest stuff, and as you'll see, he lost the drone at the natural too. That SCV isn't even hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if he kills a Zergling with it, at this point. His
Just
SCVs are
wild.
Yeah.
SCV's going crazy out here, just taking off kills, man. Oh my goodness. All right, will we see some kind of an add-on? I was gonna say, we're gonna see some type of Wraith play as well, or is he just gonna go into Goliath? It seems like he'll be going into some type of Goliath play.
Yeah,
right away.
Wraith would not be great here, especially with the natural expansion. He could definitely just build up that Goliath count, get that Goliath range here early. He's got map control with that Vulture. Took the sunken shot and just kind of backed up, and now at least he'll scout anything moving out here from HawK. Man, I still can't believe he got that drone kill with the SCV. That's like a big mental win in a series like this, especially starting out.
Yeah, for sure. Especially early game ZVT, right? Like you're not producing a ton of drones. You need to use all your larvae for the muta and things like that. So, kind of tough. But if there's a player that can recover and not let it bother him, it is HawK. HawK can make it happen.
Yeah, he could definitely make it happen, man. Always love watching HawK play here. Oof, this is gonna be exciting. HawK eventually, I'm just thinking ahead, is gonna need to take a 3rd, probably mid left, is what I would guess. I like that he's choosing to get this 3rd hatchery at the natural, complete the wall off, preventing any potential Vulture run bys, which we know it's obviously not going to be the case, but he's just preparing and not being too greedy here early on, which I like.
Yeah, everything seems to be just pretty standard. Everyone's just kind of doing their thing, making sure they're not missing any beats, which is always, I think, important in tournament play. Right now, not getting too crazy.
Yeah, not getting too out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, just doing what you're doing best, and both these players doing that right now. We see a little bunker down going down the front, and some turrets going up. It's important to get those on time so the muta don't do too much damage, so your Goliaths can also feel some support, so the muta don't just kill the Goliath. We see that he is looking to clear this Vulture so that he can take his 3rd, like you were talking about, Machine. It looks like he's going to be opting to take that mid-left base because of the single ramp.
Yeah, I like his prioritization here. It's also because of that gas mid-left as well. Gas is very, very important versus mech. But yeah, instead of just, a lot of Zergs would have just tried to go straight to the Terran's main here with those muta, forgot about that Vulture at the 3rd, delayed the, 3rd base, but HawK is on top of it here. A little bit of a trapped SCV.
I don't even know if he can build the gas to get it out. Now, Michi, do you think HawK will... we see some muta harass here. SCV's going down. At least 2, 3, 4. Nice job from HawK, getting a lot of value out of those 7 muta.
Yeah, they spread the damage really well. None of the mutas are in the red either. He could go back.
Yeah, now do you think he'll stay on muta, or will we see some type of Hydra switch over later?
I think we're going to... at least for the time being, it's going to be nothing but pure muta here. He's still, if you're Zerg and you're playing against Terran, you need to recognize, is this a 2-base Goliath all-in timing or not? A lot of Terrans will just full dedicate to mass Goliaths, maybe depending on the comp, get a siege tank or 2, and just do a 2-base all-in essentially with +1 weapons, +1 armor. And if it's that and you get stuck trying to go for something like Hydra on top of muta or Queen muta, you can die very easily as Zerg. But, if it's a 2-base all-in from Terran and you make nothing but muta, and maybe sprinkle in some Zerglings or something towards the end, and just stomp the push, it's game over a lot of the time for Terran.
See him taking off this eBay a little bit. Oh, taking some damage.
A little bit of damage, but doesn't look like the eBay is going to end up falling.
The eBay is gonna live. Don't worry, everybody. It's gonna make it. I was concerned for that eBay, but he is gonna make it back. Oh,
He's making it back home, man.
He's floating his little heart out, getting back into the Terran base. So I do see that HawK poked in there with the Muta and was able to confirm those 5 factories and the armory spinning. So I think you're right, Bishi. I think we're going to see him consistently just make these Mutas. I think this first engagement is going to be really one of the deciding factors of this game here.
I mean, that's the big problem with the push play is like really it's all in. It feels very all in from Terran here. If you're just flat out going for a 2-base mass Goliath off 5 fact, I don't know, man. It's there's not a whole lot of follow-up options once the timing doesn't work. HawK hit a big drone cycle here though. Going to fully saturate that 3rd base, and this might even prompt a move out here from TerrOr. Looks like we're seeing some Goliaths position towards the front.
Burrow.
Maybe not. Ooh, Burrow. I love Burrow versus
Scout.
Mech. There's not going to be scan anytime soon. Ooh, Zerg going into the main with a counter timing with these Mutalisks, picking off a few turrets, but actually TerrOr going to move across the map here, and I want to say this is not going to work at all here for TerrOr. There's too many Sunkens, too many Muta. I mean, Goliaths really are not great versus Sunken. That's why, you know, a lot of Terrans will try to mix in a Siege Tank or 2, but there is just no way these 5 Sunkens fall to Goliaths.
Yeah, that big play with Burrow allowed him to poke back into the main. I think this is one way you handle mech, right? Like the mobility of the army is very, very low, so if you can keep just kind of getting in behind. Oh my goodness, good pick here from HawK, taking a couple of the reinforcements. But if you can keep forcing the mech army to go back and forth, you buy yourself a ton of time. And now you see there's no turrets in the main. Oh, the armory just finished, so we might see a move out here. HawK, that's just too many Sunkens. There's just no way that he can bust that with these Goliaths, and we're going to see HawK immediately just go for the counter.
He should. I mean, he's got to feel safe with that many Sunkens. That's so many Sunkens. He could even retreat back with the Muta once the Goliaths engage. And this is very uncharacteristic of TerrOr, I gotta say. Like, no turrets remade in the main? There we go. Okay, he does have turrets now. But it might be too late here. HawK diving on top of the turrets that are still in production. Turrets get up barely in time, and here we go. It's the counter, but man, look at this isn't even going to be close. I think this is just going to get stomped here.
Yeah, we see the full counter. I think TerrOr knows he has to do something. He must get a bust here. Surprised that he even got that many Sunkens, but it's just too many. And now the Goliath force is down. All of the turrets are down, and there are still Muta in the main. I think HawK has done it here, Machine. I think he has played this really well. And now what is TerrOr going to do about these Muta? Look at the supply count. It is almost tripled, and there is GG from TerrOr.
Wow. Yeah, GG being called there. Very well done there from HawK, I gotta say. They're being able to recognize that it was the 2-base all-in timing, Goliath, timing out of TerrOr, getting the appropriate amount of Sunkens, and, just countering very, very well with those Muta. He made that game look pretty simple. It was very well done.
Yeah, I'm surprised TerrOr no tank and just kind of went for it there. It seemed like he was just committed to that 5-fact timing, and like you said, I think he probably started cutting some SCVs. There's not much of a follow, but you got to get some damage done. HawK recognized it. That Burrow was brilliant. He was able to keep seeing reinforcements stream in, pick them one at a time, and just put mass Sunkens up. The Goliaths couldn't do much against that.
Yeah, Goliaths do not trade well versus, Sunkens. It was very well done. Even if he tried to engage that third, right, of HawK, it was high ground. There was Sunkens, at the top of the high ground as well. He could have rotated his Mutalisks. It was just not a great position for TerrOr to be in. TerrOr's got a bunch of tricks, still up his sleeve. There's many other ways for him to be able to play. And as I mentioned, I don't think he normally favors playing mech. So it was a little unfortunate that map 1 for him was, on Gladiator, but he will get map 2 pick here, and you could, bet he's got something planned.
Yeah, I think that may have been his pick. He picked that map first, actually. So it might be a HawK's pick here. So we could see what HawK has up his sleeve for map pick and what he'd like to do. Which is going to be what now? If you're Zerg, what do you like? Ooh, Sylphid. And I think that's a good ZBT map, right? All right. Looks like we're going to jump into game number 2. We were going to be on Sylphid. Let's get into the game.
And spawning at 12 o'clock as the blue Terran, it is TerrOr.
And in the bottom right, one win away from moving on in the losers bracket, it is HawK. Now, Machine, I think this is a very good map for ZBT, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you know, I would say this is one of the maps where Zerg has a very strong presence mid-game. There's a lot of muta harass opportunities on this map depending on, you know, base positioning. You know, right off the bat here, he's going to have, HawK is going to have like great, you know, positioning to harass the natural, even that neutral ground between the main and nat here as well. So I gotta say, things probably looking pretty good for HawK here at the moment.
All right. I think we're going to see some standard play. No 8 racks, no nonsense in the middle. This map always has that ability, just a depot towards the front. So
he could wall off and go gas here.
Oh, maybe. He might be looking for some more mech play. Think he'll try mech play again?
I don't think he would go for mech. I think he might go for something like 1-1-1 play would be my guess, but we'll have to see.
So not mech. All right. I was curious maybe if he'd go for it again, maybe a different variation this time, but it seems that we might have something different. Oh, it does look like there's going to be a wall off and a gas here. Machine, you might be right. Might see some 1-1-1.
Yeah, I feel like this is a better map for 1-1-1. He's got to expect that muta play again, and maybe by going something like 1-1-1 Viking, or you know, just 1-1-1 early vessel, he might stand a better chance at defending the muta potential here. So HawK going to get the first scout off, going for a very standard, you know, 2-hatch muta play, gases on time. Drone scout will see nothing mid left, so he will know that TerrOr is at the 12 o'clock position. Yeah, nothing too crazy here. The one thing I want to say about this map 4 versus Terran is like the third positioning is a little more key. You know, if you take the other main, it's going to be a little closer to Terran here. And, you know, Zergs typically like to take another main that leads to natural, and it can just be a little easier to defend a third into a fourth. But he could very well just take the bottom left high ground expansion as well.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on that SCV here, Machine. We got to make sure he doesn't pick up any more kills. We know that those SCVs are like ninjas, man. Just slicing through drones. Got to watch him in the main there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, here he comes. There he is. Oh, Zergling's out this time. No more nonsense. No nonsense.
No more nonsense, man. We are gonna get a command center at the natural here. Pretty common follow-up. We still haven't seen whether this is gonna end up being 1-1-1 or mech out of TerrOr, just given their positions. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. Like I said, I just have the feeling that it's 1-1-1, but it could still be mech out of TerrOr.
Yeah, I think we could see either. We're not sure yet. We see the sunken going down. All standard stuff from both players. You know, making sure no little vulture can sneak in. That's the worst that could happen. So just get that sunken on time. Seen armory going down again. So it seems like we're gonna have some more mech play, Machine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
straight mech.
Looks like it is gonna be mech.
Ooh, second vulture, third vulture. Maybe we're gonna see a little run by here.
Well,
What's a run by?
Maybe. Yeah, the armory doesn't actually indicate that it's mech because a starport could still be dropped, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Second
it is going to be
factory.
mech. Okay, second factory, it's mech. It's mech play for sure.
We have 3 vultures. I think we might go for a little run by here. I think he probably could do it, right, with the 3 if he just snipes out the Zerglings and moves on in.
Yeah, I think he could. I'm a little surprised at the hatch positioning. If he placed the hatch as part of the wall off, I think he would have held it a lot better. But yeah, this 3 vulture run by could be a little scary here. And here, never mind. Thought he was gonna go, but he's not.
Yeah, he's hiding the 2 lings in the back towards the choke, which is good. That way they don't get sniped when the vultures just run by. They actually have to kill them as they're coming in, so the Sunkens will be able to get more shots off before they actually start hitting the Zerglings. So I think that's smart there from HawK, making sure that no nonsense vulture run-bys are going to happen to him. I think TerrOr is only showing kind of 2 towards that creep, but we are going to have beat out here in a second. And oh, here come the 3 now. Just diving into the drones. 1 drone, 2 drones, 3 drones down.
Not bad out of TerrOr. I like the dive there. He got some eco damage, you know, forced the drones to be pulled. Still has vulture alive, so not a bad call.
Yeah, got some drones, you know, be able to lower that economy. We see that HawK, though, does have the 3rd hatchery, so he will have a little bit bigger of a larva count. It's not just straight 2 hatch Muta. TerrOr getting up his turrets in time, as you would expect from him. A couple Goliaths out. I think we're going to see, once again, HawK, like you said, good prioritization of the Muta, making sure that he kills off these scouting vultures, doesn't allow them to pick off any of his drones that he wants to expand with before just going into TerrOr's base.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's
Looks
see
like
what he does
HawK
with these
is
Muta.
taking bottom left as his 3rd positioning. That's, you know, not a bad choice. It's close enough, easy to defend versus mech. And yeah, it looks like he's going to try to get some harassment done in the main here, maybe delay some depots, pick off a turret. We'll have to, you know, see how this control here goes from HawK. Also, Zerglings streaming across the map as well.
Man, I think this is the one thing about Sylvan main, right? It's just such a big opening. He needs so many turrets. Wow, he's found a really good spot here, Machine, in the back behind in the main where there are no turrets. If he can keep diving in, he'll be able to get a ton of free shots of these SCVs until the Goliaths get over there. Ooh, man, just gets out. Seems like we might have a Burrow again coming in here, Machine. Another game of Burrow.
Yeah, it's just great against mech, honestly. You know, all that extra vision. It's not like the Zerglings are going to be able to help you do much else. But it's really important to know exactly where Terran's positioned on the map. You can use it to delay thirds and things like that. So I think this is once again a really great call from HawK here.
Yeah. Now, do you think we're going to see the same from TerrOr? You think he's going to try to get one of these timing attacks with 5 FAC and just move in? I mean...
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't seen the 5 factories. You know, it didn't work last game is my only thoughts, right? So, like, I don't know if you want to go for something like that again. And we're only seeing 3 factories. We're seeing an academy. I almost feel like this is going to be a play to go for a 3rd here from TerrOr.
Yeah, and we see speed vultures on the map coming in, picking off some drones. Oh! Almost got Burrow off. Oh, but the animation was already in. 3 more drones going down. Oh, no, they're not. They are just going underground.
Remember, we have the academy here. You know, at least TerrOr is now aware that there's Burrow on the map. He could use this to maybe get a little bit more harassment done and pick off some drones in the future.
I thought even Burrow it would trigger that mob, but maybe it's just not close enough.
Yeah, it might not be close enough.
We do see a starport coming out this time, so you are right, Machine. We are not going to see this 5 FAC timing push. It's more likely he's going to want to try to take a 3rd. More vultures running out here, too. I like that TerrOr is getting some map presence. Looking to dive in. Here we go. 1 drone down. 2, 3. Oop. Nice, Burrow. 4 drones. Oh, catching the transfer again.
Very big transfer. I'm surprised he's not burrowing the drones. Oof.
Oof, man, a lot of drone kills right there from TerrOr. Really nicely played. Really well done.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what TerrOr, needs to be doing at this point. He's looking very, very solid with this Vulture harass, Vulture run by. This pressure is also giving him the time he needs and, security to be able to make his third base, build up that tech and build up his Goliath count. So, things are looking pretty good here for TerrOr.
Yeah, I think that was a big win there, being able to kill those drones. Not just letting HawK have these crazy drone cycles. We do see a third command center going down, and the starport blanking. So I'm assuming we're gonna see some little harass play from TerrOr, which I think he likes. So I think all good. Very different from last game. Good to see that he decided to just kind of play this one out into a longer game. +1 completed and second armory up, and we do have our science facility, so we'll be looking at 2-1 mech timing here.
Yeah, 2-1 mech timing. I mean, mech obviously scales better and better late game than almost anything else in the game. We're starting to see a pretty high Hydra count buildup from HawK, but he's kept this hidden the whole time. Still, though, it is very difficult to trade with Hydra versus Terran without getting, either a mass amount of muta or queens and broodling the later the game goes. So I feel like if TerrOr can kind of just hold this third and just hang on, he'll be getting in a better and better position, the longer this game goes.
That mine infinitely blocking that hatchery at the fourth there machine. He actually sniped the last drone, and now, drone coming in, he's had enough. Radiant on the muta.
No, it's on
a vulture.
Yeah, radiated vulture, man.
I like it. I like it. He's a racer.
Just chase down muta.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. That's funny.
Doing an eraser with a vulture, come on, awesome play. Irradiate the vulture, send it into the drone line, get it under the mutalisk. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to see that one. D-Matrix irradiated vulture eraser. That'd be cool.
Wow, high level play there, Machine. I like it.
Only on the BSL. Oh man, looks like TerrOr is securing this third base. Now TerrOr's in this spot, right, where I don't know how you break that. I don't know how you break that high ground. He's just going to be building up more and more vessels, more and more siege tanks. And that's like, Terran's dream the longer this game goes. Get more tanks, basically just make a crucible for any units that try to come in and engage and just crush them.
Yeah,
so,
like you said, these Hydra don't have any upgrades either, so they are going to take some serious damage from the siege tanks. I'm sure now that Terra knows that there's a Hydra switch in play, he'll be kind of getting a little bit tank heavier. I think he was still going a lot of Goliaths because he thought it was a lot more muta, but I don't know, Michelle. I don't know how you, as Zerg here, stop this 3-gas Terran. I guess you just try to max with units in Hydra and wait for him to make a move out. And if you crush the first army, the game is yours.
You're gonna have to out-expand it, Like, his saving grace is that, at least for now, TerrOr is only on that 3-gas. He needs the other main. I think HawK needs to take the other main and really force pressure in opposite positions on the map. If he takes mid-right here, it'll just die. If he takes that high ground outside his natural, it will just die. He's gotta really force TerrOr to move elsewhere on the map, I think, and by taking the other main, he would do that.
Yeah, I see a scan just went down on the other main. He knows he doesn't have it yet. We do have +2 finishing here for weapons for this mech army. So we'll see.
I almost feel like this is... I think this is an all-in a little bit from HawK, the more I'm seeing this. There's no third gas even taken. Yes, he does have the high... Oh, this is like a Hydra drop, maybe? I think this is like bait. I think he wants TerrOr to move out right now. And it's a drop. It's a drop, maybe. Yep.
So we're gonna have a drop in the main. I don't know how much we can get done. We have a lot of siege. Oh, we see TerrOr loading up for a drop of his own. They're both kind of flying the same way. I think he's hoping with this drop, TerrOr will unsiege and move back towards the main, and then he'll hit the third simultaneously because units are out of the way. Interesting. We'll see how this goes. It looks like it's going to be a two-pronged attack here. A lot of siege tanks there, though. And he sees the drop. Oh, he sees it.
This is going to get run over.
Oh, man. He's stopping on the...
Yeah, it's going to be a bad call from HawK here. Everything's irradiated. Everything's going to die. I mean, that is a lot of Hydra, sure, but siege tanks just have too much splash. Just phenomenal reaction time from TerrOr, but TerrOr made that look easy.
Yeah, that attack kind of got stopped there by those siege tanks, turrets, everything going there. So now he knows he's lost a lot of Hydra. The supply count now. Very good balance here from TerrOr. He's up 40 supply, macroing well, taking care of business. And I think this was partially what his plan was, to just sit here and defend, right? Like not move and defend.
Yeah.
And he was hoping that HawK would attack into him. That being said, his main is almost mined out, and that third base doesn't have a ton of mineral patches, so let's see what's going on here. Oh,
I mean, he's just going to trade so efficiently. It's like maxed Terran mech. Ooh, he does lose the vessel, though. That's a big deal. But, I mean, once he gets onto this high ground, it's just going to be so difficult for HawK to push him off. Though, some tanks moving off to the side, that is not good. Looks like there's going to be a Hydra counter out of HawK as well. Yeah,
tanks
TerrOr
getting picked here.
He did not want to put those tanks on the low ground. That was a big mistake. He just kept everything together on that high ground. He would have traded much more efficiently. But still, yeah, he is pushing forward, and this is still a massive army. Also, his third base still a little bit under fire, but it looks like with this quick rally of Siege Tank alive, that's going to get cleaned up. And yeah, here we go. Siege Tank's engaging against so many Hydralisks, and even though HawK took such a great engagement towards the center, it doesn't matter. Like I said, HawK was kind of all in with this Hydra timing, and when the drop didn't do much, it's yeah, sometimes it's just lights out.
Yeah, we see what you're talking about here, this mech army just being so big and trading so effectively against the Hydra on the ground here. And there it is, HawK is going to call GG.
Yeah, GG is called there. Very well played and very well done from TerrOr. You know, I was saying at the start of this that TerrOr usually doesn't opt to open mech, so it's kind of funny that he did it 2 games in a row and did it so solid, you know, especially that second game. So yeah, and as you mentioned, that was HawK's map, so maybe now we'll get to see, you know, TerrOr maybe switch it up, play more his standard style, go into you know, some SK Terran or something like that, which I honestly personally want to see against a Zerg, you know, like HawK. So it's gonna be interesting.
It was interesting to see what he does. You know, something that comes to mind is the fact that HawK did play that show match with Artosis, and the game that Artosis did win was with mech. So I wonder if that had to do anything with TerrOr choosing to play mech style here. But
you know, yeah, you could be right.
Never know. But we have 1-1 here so far in the series. The next game will decide who is going to be playing the best of 5 against XiaoShuai next. So big match here. Both these players playing for their tournament lives in this next game. And it's going to be good. Both games have been good so far. It'd be interesting to see if TerrOr is going to continue with this mech pattern into match number 3, or if we're going to see some kind of SK Terran, like you said, or does he do something tricky? And because I think it is within TerrOr to be like, you know what, I'm gonna 8-Rex this game. You'll never expect me to do this on the best of 3, 1-1. Let me go for it. You know, I could totally see him do that.
Best 8-Racks, man. I'm telling you, I don't understand why he doesn't do it every game. You know, like, he is so good at it. You know, especially compared with other foreign Terrans, and it's just such a strong opener. I'd love to personally see that, but you know, these guys have played against each other so many times. I'm sure they have their own, you know, meta against each other, let's say. And so, TerrOr and HawK probably have a good idea plan going into game number 3 here.
Yeah, I would imagine it does. I would imagine he has already thought about this. All right, I'm in this scenario. What am I going to do next? So I'm sure he's not just going to be winging it.
Yep. Yeah, still, we've seen some pretty incredible muta control out of HawK so far, even though it's against mech, and mech has, that inherent range advantage, let's say. So if TerrOr did open something like SK, it might actually just be an opportunity for HawK to, do a little more damage, let's say, with his mutas mid-game, which could throw TerrOr off his build. So, maybe that's also a reason why TerrOr's opting more for mech here against HawK in particular, but we'll have to see.
Well, our third map is going to be Overwatch.
Ooh.
So, how do you feel, ZVT Overwatch? Which way do you give the advantage, if there is one for the map?
What's funny is that's actually also another great mech map versus Zerg. So now I'm not so sure. You don't have to open mech there, but it is like a 2-player map, and let's say 3rd and 4th gas bases are limited for Zerg. The 12-6, 9-3 bases have 2 entrances leading to it, which never really feels ideal, let's say, for Zerg against Terran. Whereas top right, bottom left, just have the single ramp entrance. So you see a lot of like 3rd base expansions a little further out, just on that map in particular. But securing a 4th is tough. The later the game goes. And then obviously 5th as well versus Terran. It's a very simple map for Terran to split in half, especially with that mech style that we saw game 2 in particular from TerrOr. So if you're HawK, you gotta be feeling a little uncomfortable going into a map like Overwatch after that last game.
Yeah, and wallable on both sides, right, at the natural with the 2 depot barracks, so he'll be able to wall in again. So it'll definitely play into that mech style, like you're saying. It's kind of setting up for it. So going to be a tough game 3. All right, and we are going to be jumping in to game number 3 here between TerrOr and HawK on Overwatch.
And spawning top left as the blue Zerg from North America, it is HawK.
And in the bottom right, the red Terran, it is TerrOr. We must be on top versus bottom because we all know that TerrOr's favorite color to play in is the magenta.
Ooh, loves that magenta, man. Can't blame him. Magenta is such a, wonderful, non-existent color. Ooh,
there it is.
That magenta there, I love it.
There it is. And HawK's playing in red. HawK always plays in red, and TerrOr always plays the magenta. So funny. Players always picking their favorite colors.
Yeah, man, it's that, that extra mind boost you need going into a game. Like, oh, well, did I get my color this game, That's what determines if I'm going to play well or not.
That's it.
Most of the time. Yep.
I hear the magenta Marines have a little extra, firepower when they're out there. That's what it is.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, that's why it's chosen. Right?
Do the magenta medics like heal faster too?
A little bit, just a little faster,
Just a little bit. Okay. I wonder if Flash knows.
Flash,
he probably knows.
I'll shoot him an email after the game. Let him know that. Let him know about he's got to come back and play magenta only. All right, we see him moving the larva over to the left, making sure he's cutting no corners, boosting everything he can. Good mineral boosts, all that good stuff's happening so far.
This is a very
my goodness, the eBay block right away machine.
I love it.
Yep.
I'm telling you, this is the shit that Zerg hates to deal with. It's so unfair. This game is broken. I don't understand why Terran doesn't do this every game. 5 drones having to be pulled here from HawK to hit a building that has armor this early in the game. Why don't Terrans do this all the time? This is so funny because this is one of those things that comes back into the meta every like 5 years And everyone's like, I'm always like, why did they stop doing it? And there was really like no reason to stop doing it. It's just so hard to deal with. TerrOr gotta get that wall off, going the gas in his main. And yeah, HawK forced to lose so much mining here early on, and he's completely thrown off his build. 14 pool, that's not a thing. 13 gas, that's not a thing. I mean, do you just try to take a third base from here, a third hatch in main? I guess so, but you're not happy about it.
Here's my thing, Machine. Does that block give TerrOr enough time to get the Vulture up before the Sunken?
No,
Won't do it?
It won't. It won't. I mean, it makes you think about it a little more as Zerg, and you might accidentally get it too early, but no, he'll still have plenty of time to get that Sunken down and defend a Vulture.
We see we are going to have that mech play again, like you said, Machine. 3 games of mech here from TerrOr. Very unusual, I think, for him, like you're saying, that not only just go mech, but to use the same build 3 games in a row.
Yeah, for this matchup in particular, very unfortunate. Looks like Zerg's gonna make Lings here. No, just 2 Lings. Okay. Huh, he could be droning a little faster. With this extra money, though, he can afford a third hatchery. Probably gonna place that down in the main. Never mind. Looks like he's gonna use it as part of the wall off. HawK has scouted no command center at the natural here. And yeah, look how fast that creep colony is. It's because he's worried that this could be proxy factory or something like that, which you have to account for. So this is so silly to me. Yeah, this looks like it could be mech. Oh, 1-1-1. Okay. This is what I thought we were going to see last game.
Will he build the Wraith out and start picking off some of these Overlords? I think we might see some of that too.
Yeah, it's pretty common to go Wraith with 1-1-1. You know, get the Overlord over the cliff, maybe do a little bit of scouting with it, but he's most likely going to be going, I feel like Viking. I feel like this is a Viking game for sure. Or Valkyries rather. He'll get the Valkyrie out. He'll you know, try to build that count up to like 3-4, and then, you know, pair it with some bio and go for a timing.
Yeah, and this SCV scout, by the way, has seen everything. He has not missed a beat here in HawK's base. He knows all the timings. We even saw HawK scout the perimeter of his base. So I think he was worried maybe that TerrOr would lift a factory from the 3rd over. So we saw him send the Overlord just to check that space. Don't blame him. Definitely something that TerrOr is capable of. Wraith about to be out. Definitely going to get at least 1 Overlord. Just trying to take little victories here as TerrOr, you know, each part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's really doing a great job of it here. That natural expansion's in, you know, pretty good timing, especially considering everything that went on early here. Only forced to make the single Marine, but he's completely safe. Yeah, this could be a nice little supply block pickup here for TerrOr. Of course, as soon as you see a Wraith like that as Zerg, you know this is 1-1-1, and HawK should be adjusting accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, he knows the build. He'll have to adjust, like you said, according to what he needs to do from here. 3rd hatchery going down. Once again, TerrOr keeping map control. I think that's been so key in these games, right? Just forcing him not be able to take that 3rd anywhere else, making sure to take it. HawK is supply blocked, so he might be able to get another Overlord here with the Wraith.
I don't think so. I think the...
Ooh, 2nd.
Oh, he did get 1. Okay.
Another one down.
These
And
are going to be up in a second. Yeah, that's a big deal, man. Getting 2 Wraiths, or 2 Overlord kills on your first Wraith. You know, you can't be feeling great if you're HawK, but still. The big issue with 1-1-1 is there is no output potential for Terran here for a long time. You'll notice we don't even see an academy yet. We do have the eBay, yes, you know, and we're getting a Radiate, obviously. We're getting that first vessel. But there's really not much else here for TerrOr. He's highly needs to rely on turrets to defend these timings. And Muta's moving into the main, pecking away at the first turrets so far, scouts out that starport timing. And yeah, looks like he's going to get into the natural here, pick off some more SCVs. HawK doing a great job with this early harass so far.
Oh no, those turrets don't reach.
Oh, this is not good.
No.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate placement. HawK, man, just finding the openings he needs to keep doing this damage.
Yeah, this is big. Oh, here comes the first radio. Let's see how quick he splits. Oh, that
Oh
was
my!
very,
How
very
did he
fast.
do that?
That was extremely quick, Machine. So now, like you said, we really don't have units to deal with these Muta. And HawK has found two really good spots. One in the natural to hit the SCVs that are on gas, and in the main, behind the main mineral line, a lot of SCV kills happening here.
I mean, behind the main mineral line, this is as bad of a spot as you could really hope to, find. TerrOr really needed to have a turret placed somewhere in that mineral line to prevent this. But still, these 5 mutas still alive, getting some additional SCV kills here. We're seeing HawK go up by 13 supply now, 14, 15. I mean, he is in dominant control of this game.
Wow. I know he's going to lose all these muta, but he did severe economic damage to TerrOr. And it's just tough when you're having 5, 6 SCVs only maining in your in the main, mining in the main. I mean, that's just crazy. And Machine, of course, we were saying how good of a mech map this is. So what is TerrOr going to do? He's going to go bio follow up.
Yeah. Well, with 111, you kind of have to, unfortunately. All your gas is spent on, those vessels, so it's tough to really get the gas count you need to go back on top of it. But I mean, he's not even mining gas as natural here. He's got to go bio. I feel like. Oof,
what
good splitting.
Another good split here from. He's just leaving that muta inside the SCV line to do damage with the irradiate. Using his own muta as an eraser.
Looks like Ling's rallying across the map here. I'm not sure about the Lings, right? This is a wall off. But still, the muta by themselves doing so much damage here. Third base being placed down for HawK. The one thing I'll say is HawK doesn't have the most highest drone count, but still, when you're constantly picking off all of the SCVs of Terran, I mean, you don't need to, I guess.
You get an Overlord there, yeah.
That's nice. It's nice. It's good.
But Machine, I'm looking at this natural right now. What is that? 5, 6 SCVs mining only?
Yeah.
There's like no economy here for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 SCVs. I mean, a lot more in the main, but definitely. Oh, Toon. That's just tough, man. So much harass going on trying to figure everything out. Can he get another Overlord? He will. Another Overlord pick. Wow.
That's nice.
Huge radiate again. Oh.
Yeah, nice pull though. Once again, the mutas are finally bruised, and the one thing you gotta say for TerrOr is at least he's been staying on top of the vessel production. But actually, now that I say that, did he lose a vessel too? It looks like he did. Shoot, he lost a vessel too. So, yikers! That's not what you. It's not what you like to see, unfortunately. Yeah, I wonder if they got scourged or something like that. But still, TerrOr fighting on, getting that bio count to a reasonable number, I'll say. Like that, if you look at that many Marines fighting against pure muta, things could go well.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think the reason that the vessel count is so low is because we dove right away into the natural with those muta, and we killed the SCVs mining gas at the natural. He wasn't mining any gas at that natural for a while because of the spot that HawK found. And then he comes in the main. Now he only has 2 mining his gas in the main. Just a lot of missed mining time.
Yeah, it's a ton of missed mining time here, especially when you're going for that 1-1-1 opener. Link's trying to peck away.
He hasn't noticed yet either.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much going on, right? Like, in the middle of these high-intensity matches, it's so easy sometimes to miss it. Ooh, nice irradiate, though, from TerrOr. Looks like they got a surprising amount of damage done.
And look how many turrets TerrOr has made, too. I mean, economy's pressed already, right? And you're now making 10, 12, 14 turrets all over the place. That starts to tax you, too. Starts to tax you for sure. Now, we're seeing a pretty early hive here. Are we going to see Guardians? What are we going to see, you think, from this transition from HawK?
I never like seeing a Guardian follow up versus 1-1-1 just because they're going the counter, I guess. But I'd love to see Defiler here. I'd love to honestly just see Lurker, like just defensive Lurker, hold bases. Because if you're at this point and you're Zerg and you just, you know, you feel like you're solid enough that you can just hold 2 more gas bases in a third and a fourth, you could just win the game from there. You know, the one thing he does have to worry about here from TerrOr is going to be the vessel count. And, you know, although he was able to pick off, you know, some vessels early, double Ultra Cavern, I don't ever like this follow-up, but we'll have to see.
Diving in here. Oh! Almost picked another vessel.
Looks like it's going to be a big Ling counter.
Yeah. Physics lab already for TerrOr?
Is TerrOr gonna win? I think TerrOr's gonna win.
Oh wow, here we go. Ling Flood coming in, TerrOr taking out the third here. We have some base trade, tons of repair going on that bunker. No surface area for the Zerglings to get to it.
Yeah, that was a great wall off there from TerrOr. Good response in such a short amount of time. Wow, 1 vessel falls, but a lot of Scorch falling as well.
There's 1 sunken machine. I think TerrOr may have done it. He held the counter, and now he's in the natural here.
I mean, all this can be is Ultras without upgrades. Even then, you're Terran, you don't care. Oh, man. This was a blunder.
Unfortunate here. Oh, Ultralists are popping out, but as soon as they pop out, they are meeting their end because that bio is just too strong.
Yeah, Bioforce really, really strong here from TerrOr, man. I mean, sometimes you just get caught. Unfortunately, yeah, HawK going for the double Ultra Cavern play, but didn't have the lurkers he needed to hold the third and the natural. That happens, man, but wow, what mental fortitude out of TerrOr to stay in that one, to just hang on, keep pushing through, and come out with a big win here against an incredible Zerg and HawK.
Yeah, that was an incredible comeback almost, do we want to say, for TerrOr, because he was down to 5-6 SCVs, mining that natural, didn't have many SCVs on gas, but still was able to pull it out. I mean, what a hold on the counter, blocks with the wall again. Incredible repair, takes no damage, and ends the game with his force. I mean, just really well done from him.
Yep, I mean, that's the TerrOr we're used to seeing, man. Even from behind, he's just so strong, so difficult to deal with. And yeah, man, with that, it's going to be TerrOr moving on to face another Zerg in XiaoShuai, man. I can't wait to see that one. You know, HawK, obviously a very formidable Zerg versus Terran player, but, you know, so is XiaoShuai. And that's going to be, you know, pretty exciting match. And that's going to be coming up next here. But, yeah.
That's going to be an insane matchup. Both these players, really incredible. Love seeing TerrOr in these best of fives. I do think we'll see some mixed up play here. I don't think we're going to see always just Mac or 1-1. So I think we'll see some of that SK Terran like you were talking about. And things get kind of mixed up. So really well done from TerrOr. HawK barely played well through the whole event. Absolutely crushed through the NA bracket. Really good showing from him this entire season. Unfortunate for him to go out this early, but big names get knocked out in these final couple stages here. You know, it's the only way it can be. So really well played from him.
For sure, man. He's yeah, big standout player. I want to say the #1 Zerg in the NA scene at the moment. You know, obviously, as you stated, crushed the North American regional part of the event for sure. But you know, finally does go down here and had just a wonderful showing this season of BSL. I'm looking forward to seeing him play in the next season of BSL for sure.
Absolutely. All right, I think we'll probably go into a short break here before the next matchup. But do not leave. We have another incredible TVZ about to happen and go down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to BSL 15 Championship Series. Joining me is my good buddy Zero here, holding it down. What's up, Zero?
Hello, Mr. Machine. Pleasure to be here. Finally in the studio, and yeah, very happy to be here. I'm replacing Mr. Raz because he has some Boardwalk Clinic to play. So
Yep.
happy to be here, especially that the Zerg is playing. So in TVT,
Yeah,
I will have
man.
a little bit harder time to help, but in ZVT maybe I will be able to.
Yep, absolutely, man. This is going to be a wonderful Zerg versus Terran. We have a dominant Zerg in XiaoShuai, one of the top 3 placing Chinese players in the entire region, going up against TerrOr, who we just saw is such a formidable Terran in this matchup in particular. TerrOr kind of switching it up a little bit in the previous series, opening a little more like mech and 1-1-1 heavy dominant play, which I feel like we do definitely see out of TerrOr, but it is something that I would say feels a little out of the norm. As funny as that sounds to talk about TerrOr, someone with such an arsenal of different abilities in this matchup in particular. But I mean, we saw that game 3, versus HawK. He was in such a poor position, lost so many SCVs to that dive bombing mutaforce of HawK, able to basically weave around any and all turret placements, pick off so many SCVs, but he just kind of stuck in there. He just kind of, hung it out, got some good irradiates, and unfortunately kind of caught HawK with his pants down a little bit. Like he didn't have the tech he needed. He didn't have those high ground lurkers or really even a sizable enough sunken force to kind of delay for that ultra tech to get out. And sometimes you kind of just get crushed, if you're not properly prepared for something like that. So, TerrOr definitely the kind of player that if he smells blood, he will just go for the throat. He will try to end you and remove you from the game immediately. It looks like map number 1 here going to be Neo Sylphid. Great map, which we already saw previously today in this matchup. And whenever we see this, it means our players are ready to go. It's going to be the Chinese Zerg XiaoShuai facing off against South American TerrOr on Neo Sylphid. And spawning at the 12 o'clock position on Sylphid as the blue Zerg from China, it is XiaoShuai.
And on the bottom right position, from Peru, we are having Mr. TerrOr. So already good position for the Zerg right now, right? Because this is 12 o'clock position, and I know that yesterday we had a cast, and there was a lot of information that you can boost a lot of minerals from the 12 o'clock position. So I think that's one of the things that you need to consider, right?
Yeah, it definitely is one of the things you need to consider. You could boost, you have like great positioning of mining here, at that 12 o'clock position. Also, he's got better, movement towards the Terran main should mutas come out. But actually, we're already seeing that forward 8 racks out of TerrOr. Zero, I know you've heard me talk about this on many casts, but I think TerrOr has the best 8 racks control, best 8 racks opener of any foreigner. And I'm kind of interested to see how XiaoShuai tries to deal with it here.
And it's also funny how it evolved, because usually 8 racks back in the days was all-in strategy, but right now you can go 8 racks, make 2 marines, and then still expand behind it and not do it behind with economy, because Zex has to pull so many drones to defend it. So actually I like this choice from TerrOr, especially that this is best of 5, so he will have, like, starting with aggressive openings will make XiaoShuai being a little bit safer in the next games.
Exactly. I mean, I don't expect that XiaoShuai has watched a lot of TerrOr's games. He might not be familiar with how good TerrOr is with this 8 racks. And as you mentioned, this is not all in at all, building this barracks. TerrOr consistently gets this early gas in the main follow-up. We'll see him go into Vulture, and he's got some options from there. But right away, it looks like XiaoShuai going to scout this proxy 8 racks Marines and is going to be forced to pull some drones just to hold his natural here.
Yeah, and how many drones do you need to pull? Like, 5, 6 seems like
Yeah.
a good number. 8 seems like a little bit too much. Even 9 drones, so that's a pretty huge sacrifice of economics.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that many drones being pulled, to be honest with you here. He's definitely going to have more than enough to chase these Marines down. Wow, very good control from TerrOr. I say it, man, he's so good at controlling this. He's forcing so much lost mining time. Targets down another drone. And maybe even gonna get another one here. Yep.
Drones falling. That's definitely good trade for TerrOr, especially that he's going for factory behind it, so there's gonna be Vulture follow-up, so it will be hard time to deal critical damage with the links by XiaoShuai. And I don't think he scouted with the drone that the gas is the follow-up.
Ooh, this was definitely not done well, I felt like, out of XiaoShuai. He only has the 3 drones in the main, forced to make that Vespian Geyser in the main as well. And yeah, he's gonna have these 4 lings, but there should be a Vulture on the way here shortly.
Vulture and TerrOr already has gas for probably a starport, so it's going to be 1-1-1 follow-up. So we might see a similar strategy we've seen on Overwatch, but there will be no expansion follow-up, but like the beginning is totally different. So, oh, and this wall will be on perfect time, but there will be no Marine to shoot the links, so the repair will be required.
He's gonna counter with that 5 HP Marine. We'll see if it ends up getting a drone kill here. Probably not. But yeah, drones being pulled. We'll lose a little bit of mining time. Wow, wall was lifted. That was surprising. I guess TerrOr just welcoming these lings into the main, saying, you know what, you can't kill me. I got a Vulture. And we'll pick up those free Zerglings there. So very well done from TerrOr.
But he also showed the starport, so I think it was a small mistake, because like XiaoShuai might be thinking what is the follow-up. Maybe he wants to do only the Vulture and then switch to the Marines and Medic, but now he knows that this is the full commitment to the 1-1-1, so he's answering with the very quick Hydra then, and it might be dangerous.
Yeah, this 2-hatch Hydra pressure play from Zerg, always a possibility, especially when that starport's involved. So yeah, I don't know. A 2-hatch Hydra timing can be difficult. Bunker is definitely going to be needed out of TerrOr in order to try to hold and salvage this natural, I feel like.
Only like 17, actually 18 drones from XiaoShuai, because I don't think he has any other units than those. So he will try to end it with like 6 to 8 Marine pressure. I'm even thinking whether TerrOr did it on purpose and now he will add the tank, but we don't see that, so he still expects the Mutas follow-up. So XiaoShuai might surprise him with this aggression.
Yeah, it's very common to follow up with Muta, especially in this matchup. I would expect it, having seen XiaoShuai's previous games. So, XiaoShuai being a little fancy here, he might be able to catch TerrOr off guard, going for this very fast 1-1-1 opener. Ooh, Wraith sees it immediately, though. Very well done from TerrOr to scout this out. And, I mean, there's still no Hydra speed done yet. He does see the 4 Hydra in the main. He's got to know. Oh, and he cancels the science facility when it was almost complete. Wow, very
Nice
good reaction timing.
Yeah, very nice reaction. I wonder if he will also cancel the engineering bay, but maybe he wants to have it for later. Maybe adding the second bunker is not a bad option for him, but definitely when this tank will be up, he will have a lot of time to do whatever he wants. Maybe he didn't wanted to cancel engineering bay because he wants to do the +1 weapon upgrade and follow it up with the bio.
Yeah, you could be right. He maybe would want to follow up with like a bio timing on top of this. I also think the second bunker could come in handy. We'll see if it's able to complete here. But it looks like XiaoShuai already doing some damage to it and the SCV producing it. Ooh, he's got to repair this though. Marine does get in that bunker, and with that, he will barely hold that bunker. And yeah, looks like XiaoShuai going to be pushed off for the time being.
He seems fine to switch to the normal macro game behind it. He added 2 extra hatcheries, so 4 hatch is... this is definitely a good call. If he wants to come back to this game, he needs to expand and add hatcheries. His eco is not bad, but TerrOr nicely will even more supply block him.
Ooh, man, how does TerrOr do it? I can't believe he caught that Overlord top right. That's very well done from him. Oh, you're right! The eBay is spinning! This is definitely going to be a bio follow-up, which is really unique. You never see this, very often at all. That starport essentially useless here, but it looks like TerrOr finally going to start adding some barracks to this. That might be an academy. Yep, academy in the main. And this is just going to be like a reverse, like, siege tank into bio timing. Wow, Zerg going into Queen's Nest.
Wow.
He thinks this is mech.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks this is mech. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I'm a little thrown off.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird for the Zerg to read what's going on. So it should be a good situation for TerrOr. Following up with Bio, actually I like it, but I also like the Queen's Nest because it's good also for Mech and for the Marines, so it gives him an option because the Filer and Lurkers can defend everything.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Queen's Nest is probably just for Hive here. I was thinking Broodling for whatever reason, but no, this should be a Hive coming out of XiaoShuai here. Yep. And he's going to need to recognize that this is indeed a bio switch and be able to produce lurkers. I think if he isn't able to get a lurker count here, even a small lurker count, TerrOr might be able to hit a timing.
Yeah, it will be pretty powerful timing, and he can see the scan, so it might also give him some information because you usually don't have Academy that fast when you are going for mech play, right?
Right. It might be able to give that up. Yeah. You normally would not have scan here if you were just going mech. Oh, siege tank going to pick off a Hydra, but they do trade for a Wraith there, so a little bit of a better trade for XiaoShuai, I'd say.
Yeah, but it's only one fact, so actually Hydra Lurker can deal with the 5 fact and one fact because there will be not too many tanks, so if TerrOr thinks that this is going to be Hydra Lurk, after this timing, if he will not kill XiaoShuai with this timing, I think adding second factory might be a good idea. But on the other hand, when there will be the Filer, XiaoShuai can switch to the Lynx and Lurkers, so actually I don't know what is the good follow-up. Oh, he's banking so much money.
Yeah, so much money. I'm a little surprised by that. And it's because, we don't see any Lurkers and there's no Muta at this point, right? I feel like XiaoShuai has been very heavily producing drones, which you kind of need, especially given the supply. Oh man, once again, we're seeing Ultra first. I don't think that's the play.
So that's why he's banking so much gas. He wants to go for a lot of Lurkers, so he's probably upgrading Carapace, and that's where he looks like he wants to win the game. So this is a good saturation already for him, but I don't see him defending this push from TerrOr if TerrOr will go quickly with it.
No, this is a little reminiscent of the last series, honestly. You need to have Lurker or Muta, to defend this timing, one or the other at minimum. And with no Lurker here, really Zerg is in a lot of trouble. It looks to be another Lurker Hydra Ling counter timing possibly out of XiaoShuai, but I don't think this is enough.
Yeah, he would want to buy himself out of time with this counter attack, but with the two bunkers and TerrOr with the nice reaction to pull all the Marines to the bunkers, it should be good enough for him to hold it with the good repair. Those Marines are on steam already.
Yeah, they have stem. It's 2 bunkers. This is the worst build he could have countered against, I feel like, with 2 bunkers being forced to be made early.
And we also have a drop on the top left, so that's a beautiful place to drop the mountains and kill all the drones. XiaoShuai is not realizing that he's losing all the economy in first base. That's a huge drop for TerrOr.
Yeah, I think he's done it already. Yeah. Wow, nice catch on that siege tank though from XiaoShuai, but yeah, just the 2 Sunkens rather, small hand group of Zerglings, and yeah, it's not going to be enough to hold this. He has bought a little more time to get some Ultras out, but once again, I think this is going to be unupgraded Ultralisks. So I don't think they will necessarily trade very well at all here against Terror's force.
It will be that one shot when XiaoShuai will spend all his gas, so he will have a lot of lurkers, but he doesn't have expire, so this dropship might be annoying forever. And he lost so many drones while TerrOr is mining from two bases very well, and he's macroing back and forth, so even if he will crash this army here, I think TerrOr would be still pretty fine.
Yeah, TerrOr, I mean, he's doing great this game. You could tell Zerg is just trying to hold out for that armor.
Yeah.
You know, he'll probably go in once armor's done, but I mean, he's already lost so many drones, he's already lost, you know, his natural, as you mentioned, no Spire in sight, so this dropship can do infinite damage and just keep going back and forth. Another massive rally here from TerrOr moving in. And I mean, yeah, not even able to mine at this third. The TerrOr is just playing so well this game.
Yeah, so he knows how to keep the advantage which he built at the beginning of the game. He already has +3 carpets, which is incredible, with very good defensive matrix to tank so much damage, but it looks like this Terran army will be finally killed, but not for the natural resource.
Yeah, he does clean it up. There are 2 vessels still alive, though, that'll make it out, and I mean, they'll just constantly be able to irradiate. This dropship's still over the third base not mining. I mean, Zerg is just in such a difficult spot at the moment to be able to even try to hang on here.
Yeah, he's mining only from the main base, actually, only from 1 gas. He still has 1,000 gas almost, so he will have gas for 5 more ultras, but he doesn't have money for it. I wonder how many drones he has in the main base, because I think he evacuated most of them from the natural, so maybe if he will rebuild the hatchery. Oh, he has
It's
only
not
like
much. No,
10
he
drones.
lost all the drones at the natural, yeah. He lost a lot of them. Okay, he traded, he moved a bunch to the third, so good transfer, okay. You know, it's a sizable enough eco, but there's 2 things that I'm worried about here for XiaoShuai. One, there's still no Spire, right? These vessels will continue to trade very well against anything that's on the map.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, 2 is he just doesn't have the gas count he needs at the moment. You know, no gas at the third. He's essentially mining off of just the single gas in his main here, for the most part. And they're, you know, actually, let's add something to that. No Defiler. It's so difficult to play this matchup late game without Dark Swarm. There's a reason why, you know, so many pros tend to just sprint straight towards that Defiler tech in this matchup late game. It's because, I mean, really, these Terran forces just get out of hand without being able to use things like Dark Swarm Lurker, Dark Swarm Zergling, Dark Swarm Ultra, Plague to remove vessel counts. There's so much utility in those units that really just feels necessary in this matchup. Ooh, dropship moving to the left side, probably going to recreate another drop at that third base here of XiaoShuai.
So I can see a small hope for Zerg when the 4-0 upgrade will kick in and Terran has only 1-1 upgrade. Maybe the ultras will trade well. Very nice Razor over here, but nice reaction
I love
from
this.
XiaoShuai as well.
I mean, he hasn't seen a single Scourge this entire game. I would be doing the same thing. Dropship moving into the third, and XiaoShuai forced to retreat with the Ultra Force, but TerrOr also mirroring that and moving back as well at the same time here. Wow, man. This is just incredible play out of TerrOr.
Yeah, he's constantly applying more and more pressure on XiaoShuai, but we already have +4 on those ultras, so I wonder how many ultras he has, because 83 supplies and he has around, I don't know, 25 drones maybe. So maybe there will be an option, but also I've seen 2 engineering base on TerrOr base, so 2-2 should kick in a second, but for now it's only 1-1, so it's not that powerful Terran army, but the numbers are definitely in favor of TerrOr.
It looks like both players posturing on the map. D-Matrix going down. Ultras are still slow. And yeah, here we go. It looks like XiaoShuai moving in with this Ultra Link Force, trying to get a nice round. Good siege tank positioning here out of TerrOr. Ultra upgrade just kicked in, so he's able to engage a little better here. But actually, the Ultras, they're showing some pretty strong staying power here. You know, we still have 4 remaining Zerglings and another Ultra rallying in. But there's no mining to be had in this main. of XiaoShuai. And yeah, reinforcing bio from TerrOr, going to come in here, and it looks like just maybe barely clean the last few of these Ultralisks up.
Yeah, but it's closer than I expected actually, because the vessels are going down, so TerrOr wasn't able to build very high vessel count, and Zerg is able to clear all this bio force. It's not like TerrOr is expanding, so he will be mined out in the main base in like 4 minutes or something like that. So if TerrOr will not deal some more significant damage, XiaoShuai will stay on 3 bases and TerrOr will be mined out. Or he's just starting the command center.
So at least, I mean, he has just started the command center. XiaoShuai does have a natural up finally. But I mean, the other thing is, Terran was kind of banking way more resources, I think, than Zerg at this point. So Terra's still spending, still producing, you know, more and more bioforce. I think that 2-2 is kicked in for Terror here. So bio in any of the next engagements should trade much better. Okay, just 2-1. Maybe he's waiting on that armor upgrade, but you know, I think things are just going to start getting poorer and poorer here for XiaoShuai as the game goes. Ooh, looks like a little bit of a link counter plan from XiaoShuai. He's got to do anything in his you know, power to try to prevent Terran from moving across the map right now. There's no more ultras remaining. You know, maybe 1 or 2 here or there. Upgrades just the 4 armor here for Zerg. And here we go. Drones forced to be pulled. 2 ultras remaining to defend this natural. D-Matrix going down on a front marine, but good control out of XiaoShuai trying to prevent that. And yeah, that's just too much Terran. Wow.
This is too much Terror. This was the perfect moment to attack because XiaoShuai was rebuilding this drone count and GG.
GG is called. Well played there from Terror. I'm so happy we got to see an opening 8 racks to kind of kick this series off. And, you know, it is still best of 5, only, you know, game 1 going to Terror so far. So plenty of time for XiaoShuai to bounce back. But man, what phenomenal play there out of Terror. Yeah. And, you know, with that, we'll have to see what map ends up getting chosen here for game 2. It should be Zerg's map pick. You know, plenty of wonderful maps in the map pool for XiaoShuai to kind of choose from. Maybe, you know, we'll probably see some type of a meta adjustment for him here. Maybe opting to go more towards that standard, you know, Defiler tech, or maybe not opening 2-hatch Hydra. It felt like both players kind of just feeling each other out, you know, for the first game. Still, man, I'm so happy I got to see that 8 racks opener out of Terror. I think it's one of his best builds and genuinely one of the strongest foreign TVZ builds you could honestly hope to face. So it's kind of cool to see that it even catches you know, a strong player like XiaoShuai out early on. So very well done.
See, the peak of the second map is from TerrOr because the first map was picked by XiaoShuai, so it's going to be Gladiator. So we know that the first map versus HawK was also the choice from TerrOr, so he must like this map, probably because there is an option to make a walling in a couple locations, right? So maybe that's the reason why he likes it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think the walling can be quite difficult to deal with for Zerg early on. You know, last time we got to see him play earlier today, he opened mech, so I think there's a good chance he'll open mech again here against XiaoShuai.
Yeah, it's an option. He played mech against HawK. I don't know why mech is particularly stronger on Gladiator and why TerrOr chose to go for the mech on this map, but maybe.
I think it's kind of the high ground spoke like platforms in the center of the map. Just once you get mech on top of them and mines and things like that, I feel like it's very difficult for Zerg to be able to push that off for whatever reason. But I don't know, that's just my read on it. Either way, it seems to be a pretty good map for mech, but HawK made it look you know, fairly simple, right? He just got that third gas, produced mass muta, and was able to, you know, defend with a lot of sunkens at his natural and third and prevent the timing. So I would expect to see something similar here from XiaoShuai, and I'm assuming XiaoShuai was probably tuning in watching the last series as well, so he'll know to expect, you know, up the potential of a 2-base all-in, but I don't think that was Terror's best build. I liked his play a lot more when he was choosing to transition into that third base, getting that late game tech, whether it's, vessels or, heavier siege tank count, whatever. He seems to play a little better that way. So I kind of hope he maybe makes the adjustment here going into game number 2.
Yeah. I'm expecting him starting with the 9 pool on this map, I think. Because he got too much damage at the beginning. Maybe he expected a little bit more commitment from TerrOr and not only like 2 Marines, 3 Marines just to kill the drones. That's why he pulled like 9 of them. But I think this game, like if you want to answer to what you lost in the previous game, I think this is the best thing to start with. But let's check it out because we are ready for the second game between TerrOr and XiaoShuai, and let's get into it.
And spawning top right as the red Zerg from China, it is XiaoShuai.
And on the top left, as a blue / magenta Terran from Peru, we are having TerrOr.
Well, looks like Zerg will at least get first scout with that Overlord early on here. So if this is the wall-off like we're kind of expecting out of TerrOr, will it should get scouted out here fairly quickly. Yeah, we see that SCV moving to the natural once again. So this will be a wall-off. Oh, it is. It is. Yeah. Another 8 racks.
Ooh, that's incredibly interesting. So there is the saying, if it ain't broke, why fix it? So I believe maybe our loop boy is looping again to this 8 racks.
Yeah, I think you're right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm telling you, TerrOr's 8 racks is so difficult to deal with, even if you scout it here. I mean, last game, XiaoShuai had first scout as well, saw the early proxy, racks, and still had a hard time dealing with it. So, he will end up seeing the wall scout off here. He sees the barracks timing, but he's still going to have to pull all those drones once again to try to defend it. And actually, this is a 12 pool. This is not an 11 pool, so pool will be delayed. Zerglings will be slightly delayed here.
He's playing catch and he's playing extra 2 drones before the pool.
What? He saw the barracks. I don't know why he would do this. He saw the barracks timing.
Oh, wow.
This could be, a lot of the pro Zergs actually can just defend with only drones, and this wouldn't be an issue, but still, if you're XiaoShuai and you took all that damage early game, in the previous game, you got to be a little worried about this.
Maybe this is some kind of a smart play that you are adding like 2 extra drones because you expect to lose or pull like 7 drones, so you will have 2 more drones mining, and he's pulling only 6 this time actually, so it's definitely much better this time.
Yeah, but that bunker is close to completing. This is not going to be the gas opener here out of TerrOr. If that bunker gets up and Marines get in it, it could be trouble. But actually, very good walling here from XiaoShuai. Oh, Marine diving for the bunker does make it in.
Yeah, that's very nice play out of TerrOr, but he will not allow more Marines to get into this bunker. Once the links will be out, I think he should be able to surround this bunker, but those are a lot of drones that are not mining, so it's actually also pretty good for TerrOr.
Yeah, there's a lot of drones not mining. Another drone even getting picked off, and more Marines rallying in here. Suddenly, XiaoShuai really needs to be concerned about this bunker pressure. Zerglings are finishing up at that natural, and it looks like drones coming in for the surround here. Yeah, he should be able to kill off this bunker and this Marine, but not before it's caused a little bit of chaos.
So I think it was still better for XiaoShuai than the previous game, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it was much better for XiaoShuai than the previous game, but I don't think TerrOr is necessarily in a bad spot here either.
Yeah, but he has an option to build less extra supply depot to make this wall extra tight, but I don't think he needs it. But overall it's 10 links, so it's a lot, but on the other hand, this is very small choke, so the efficiency of those Marines will be too high.
Yeah, I think so. He could even, if he had to, jump that SCV off of the command center and kind of use that to wall off a little bit extra as well. But it looks like XiaoShuai supply blocked for a little bit. 18 out of 18 there. Just probably focusing on getting this drone count up. Lair obviously started at the natural, was scouted from TerrOr. And TerrOr, though, second barracks before gas. This is going to definitely be a bio timing from TerrOr. Academy just starting inside the main. Command center just about to finish up at the natural here. Yeah, good SCV transfer timing as expected out of TerrOr. And yeah, I don't know, things looking pretty standard. Ooh, creep colony. Not sure why he decided to get that creep colony, to be honest with you. Maybe he's expecting mech, or I mean, he has the overlord over the natural. Either way, maybe he thinks there's like potential proxy factory or something. I don't know.
Maybe he's afraid something like that. He don't see the medics, so he don't see the comsat station. He don't see the comsat station, so maybe he thinks that this is like a lot of Marines into mech. But usually Terrans don't play it, so that's pretty interesting. And
He might just be scared. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he don't want to play stupidly because he is he's losing 1-0, and if he would lose to some weird Marine timing, it would be very hard to come back from. Now we just see that he added something with 4 larvae, so it might be extra links.
I think it's drones. I think the third base or natural gas is a little delayed, and I think he just droned up a little harder.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is a little odd, right? He's at that 29 supply. He didn't save larva for Muta. He's just kind of droning, and I guess just feels comfortable holding with the Sunkens. Yeah, no eBay in the main either.
Oh, I think it is in the main below the command center, or maybe this is a different building. But we have a run by. But this is very late eBay, as KwarK is mentioning. So that's nice then. But TerrOr is attacking on 3 Sunkens, and it might work actually.
Yeah, there's 2 medics to heal those Marines up. Still, though, these Zerglings doing a lot of damage in the main. Muta's not quite up yet. And yeah, SCV's forced to be pulled, getting on top of these Zerglings, but not before they've found some incredible kills. And actually, drones also being forced out of the natural of XiaoShuai. TerrOr with this small bioforce starting to just peck away and at least cause a lot of lost mining time. This will also buy some time for turrets to get up. Ooh, that could be a big pick off there. Alright, Muta being focused down by the 3 Marines. They're so low, and actually Mutas are going to be forced off here from this Marine and 2 medics. Wow, very well done. But actually, it looks like with this follow-up group of Mutas, the Mutas should be able to take this Marine out. And yeah, it goes down without picking off any more Muta. But yeah, a little bit of disarray here for TerrOr as well. So many SCVs forced to pull off and produce turrets at this point. Ooh.
Nice catch. He found those firebat and a couple of Marines. So actually, it's pretty good for situation for XiaoShuai right now, because he lost basically only 3 seconds and some mining time in the natural, while TerrOr lost a lot of SCVs and entire bioball. So I think XiaoShuai should be pretty satisfied with this situation, because it's only 3 racks Marine production. There is no factory follow-up. There is plenty of turrets. The SCV count is relatively low, and even look at the supplies. It's 10 supply advantage for the Zerg.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right here. XiaoShuai in a much better position. eBay hasn't started upgrading for TerrOr. He's SCV counts low. Zerg even at a supply advantage, which you never really like to see if you're Terran in this matchup. But TerrOr's still in it. We've seen him already have one nice comeback earlier today. So definitely a player that, has the mental fortitude to come back from a very difficult spot.
Oh yeah, if someone, then definitely TerrOr can do it. Especially that, as you said, in the game against TerrOr, we had a similar situation that he was in a big disadvantage, but he managed to come back because there was one unsuccessful counter-attack from HawK, and he wasn't ready for the marine timing. But now XiaoShuai is picking up more turrets and more STVs and keeping this bio at home. And this is what you want to have as a Zerg, right? You want to keep the bio at home and macro behind.
Yep, prevent any and all pressure, and what that's going to do is open up this third base for XiaoShuai to just freely drone, right? Get to that hive tech, get your, upgrades going. So this is just really well done here from XiaoShuai. Wow, look at this hole. He's using the splash off of the eBay to pick off SCVs, turrets, depots, and unfortunately, there's just not the unit count needed from TerrOr to prevent this.
Yeah, and the advantage for XiaoShuai is getting bigger and bigger. He's already mining gas in the third base. He saturated. I actually don't know how many drones he had in the natural. Maybe it's not that many, but he is in phenomenal position, and his micro looks superior.
It really does. I mean, that was the story of this game for sure. He's got that drone count so high early on, and really has just kind of maintained it here. eBay is down. There's no more turret potential. Only 3 SCVs mining minerals left in the main. Now just 1. It really looks like XiaoShuai has done it here.
Yeah, he's even gathering more mutas from the 10 o'clock position, so he's getting ready to pounce on TerrOr. He has 17 mutas plus 1 weapon. Should be even done right now for the mutas, so it's phenomenal position for the Zerg player. Oh, no.
Yeah. eBay being forced to rebuild at the natural, and remember, there's not even a single upgrade on these Marines for TerrOr, so it's not like the trades are going to get any better from here. Oh no, Academy even going down. That means no more medics out of TerrOr at this point. And yeah, Muta's now just feeling confident enough to dive on what's left of this Bioforce of TerrOr, remove the last few turrets and get right on top of the production.
Oh, the one Hero Valkyrie, but it's not too powerful.
Oh no, shoot. GG. And GG is called there. Well played. I like the choice to go 8 racks early on once again from TerrOr, but XiaoShuai did a much better job of defending that and getting into a good mid-game position there. Yeah, so well played from XiaoShuai. That will tie up this best of 5 series at 1-1 apiece. Yeah, and from here, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. So, TerrOr's kind of playing a lot of different builds so far today. That's the first time I've seen him go 8 racks with the wall, without the early gas follow-up to go into like Factory or 111 or Mech or whatever. So it's kind of cool that he's at least showing so many different builds so far to kind of keep XiaoShuai off balance. But XiaoShuai playing, very, very strong there. A little bit of an unorthodox opener with the extra drones, but still made it happen.
Yeah, this is pretty funny that you can skip the pool for additional 15 seconds and still defend the 8 racks and be in a phenomenal position. So that might be a new meta for the Zergs, and we might see that in future happening much more often.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. That's the first time I've really seen that, and I was concerned at first, but he held it no problem, just because, I mean, you're really just mainly using drones to defend the timing early game anyway, so that was very well done from XiaoShuai. Good adjustment, good optimization.
Yeah, definitely, and we have 1-1 score, so it's basically best of 3 left. Winner of this match will play against Boa in next week. So next week we're gonna have the loser bracket round 3, Boa versus winner of this match, and Ziki versus Bonnie on Saturday, and Dawid versus Zanhun and loser bracket semifinals on Sunday. So it's actually only 2 weekends left for BSL 15.
Ooh, okay, yeah, not too many games left. We're finally getting down to the best of the best in this. Zanhun Dawid, I think that is going to be a phenomenal match. I actually don't even know who to call, as the winner of that one. Personally, I think Zanhun looked phenomenal, especially after commentating the Asia portion of BSL this season. But DeWalt's looking, so good. Finally got that big win against Bonneth earlier in the season, and I think it's split 50-50 on who the event could go to between those two.
Yeah, I would say the same. That like the series in the semifinals of the previous season when they would play against Zanhun, I think the score was 4-3, if I remember correctly, and that was incredibly close match. And even the last game was was extremely close. So I'm very hyped for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. But yeah, obviously we have TerrOr versus XiaoShuai going on now. It is tied at 1-1. But yeah, the next map will, the winner of the next map rather will go to a pretty sizable advantage for the remainder of this series. And the map will be Monopoly. Wow, I feel like this is a map we haven't got a chance to see much, as of late. I think a lot of players have been banning it out, but yeah, with this, our players are ready. It's going to be TerrOr going up against XiaoShuai on Monopoly. And spawning mid-right as the blue Zerg from China, it is XiaoShuai.
And as a red Terran on magenta Terran as well, on the bottom left we are having TerrOr.
So, Zero, what do you think of this map for this matchup?
I think this is a good map to play Mass Mutas, because you can take a third expansion close to the Terran and defend it while you are aggressive. So I don't know if it's particularly the strategy for turn rate 12 low, but I like this map. I also think that sometimes you can involve the slow drop to take the middle expansion to Gases as a Zerg and play like some kind of ultra play with involving that. So it gives some extra option, and also I didn't play too much in this map, but I think it's relatively interesting and relatively equal, and for the Zerg, if you have a swarm, it's relatively easy to push Terran back, because going around with the counter is a huge way to cross.
Yeah, exactly. That trying to counter on this map, you have to cover so much distance to run around that central island that it can be very difficult to counter with. Zerglings and Muta are fast enough, but if you're trying to do like a lurker counter, or, Hydra or something like that, could be quite difficult to get away with. This is an interesting one. We're going to have a 9-pool opener finally out of XiaoShuai, but this is going to be a wall off from TerrOr here. I actually don't expect this 9-pool to get much done here.
If TerrOr will not skip the Marines and will not be greedy, so then he should defend it. On the other hand, there is pretty far way to repair those depots, so maybe it will be possible to kill the depot with the links. But we can see that it will be hatchery. Oh, it's not going to be hatchery first. It's going to be 6 links first. So there is still potential to deal damage. But the wall, it should be a tight wall. If it's not untied close to the walls, it will be definitely tied between the barracks and the supplies. So it should be. This is what works for TerrOr for sure.
Ooh, yeah. Second SCV moving out. I was a little wondering why at this point.
He wants to land the factory in the main base of XiaoShuai. But he will miss the links, I think.
He will see the links here. This is a tight wall, so there's no chance really of these Zerglings getting much done here. Repair immediately going down from TerrOr. Second Marine's gonna be online here in just a second, and he will be able to push that off. SCV scouting inside the main, and as you mentioned, that proxy factory going down in the main as well, or near the main. Excuse me. It should be able to just be landed either the top right or bottom left-ish area. And yeah, this is something I've personally had TerrOr do to me like many times in tournaments. It's always, I feel like, when you least expect it. And I mean, how will Zerg be able to confirm this, right? He doesn't have Overlord in position to scout the main. He doesn't have, Overlord top or over the natural really to see command center timing or anything like that. This could be devastating, honestly.
And it might be even double starport Rax follow-up. He just added one starport, but we can see that SCV's shark code now he built the super depot. But I wanted to ask you if he will build a vulture, but I think building this vulture before going up and landing in the main base is a good idea.
I kind of don't, because I think XiaoShuai has perfect Overlord vision in the middle. He's gonna ask himself, where did that vulture come from?
Oh, but I think he killed the vulture with the links on the ramp. So, yeah, that's a good question, because he already has the links scouting what's going on. So now all he will need to do is try to surround this factory. He sees it, right?
He doesn't see it. Yeah, he doesn't see it.
He doesn't see it. Oh my god. That's actually so because the drone has a bigger vision, so he's seen the position, but when he switched to the spire, the vision got lowered. So oh my god, so now it will all come down to the Mighty of TerrOr, and he can do it because he did it to Larva on Taupius.
Yeah. This is one of his best builds, honestly. You can't go slow wings against TerrOr and let him get a couple vultures in his main. He will not lose these vultures. He is just that good at the control. Sunken going down in the main here for XiaoShuai. I think he's recognized the beginning of the end here. Wraith even moving across the map, but I mean, there's just no amount of slow lings that are going to kill these vultures from TerrOr. Big damage going down. Drone's even getting trapped. Sunken finally coming online, but it's just too little too late here.
But the only option for XiaoShuai will be that he will make Mutas and counter TerrOr, but he's already heading towards Valkyrie and probably some turrets, so it's actually very good play from our Terran player. Very sneaky build order. TerrOr is having a full notebook of his build orders.
He really is, man. I mean, he has just pulled out all the stops here today. And I mean, it goes to show why he is so dangerous, why he's a previous BSL winner. He has the arsenal to be able to put on a clinic like this, even against a top Chinese Zerg player like XiaoShuai.
Oh yeah, that's so nice, and he's keeping the Mutas at base with this factory. So as of that, you are probably wondering whether you should kill this factory and go with the attack, and TerrOr knows about it, and he's going for the command center. So that's very smart play out of him.
Yep. Yeah, as you state, this factory, even though, it's only making vultures at this point, and he's got that Mutaflux, he just can't move out with the Muta right now, because one vulture could come in and, pick off even more drones at any point. So he's going to have to kill off this factory, and that should buy him the time he needs to get turrets, maybe get Valkyries up and be able to defend this inevitable Muta counter that's going to come in from XiaoShuai.
So, Machine, do you think this is a better mech map or bio map? What do you think TerrOr might do? Because it's still undecided, right?
Yeah, I've seen both here. I think anytime you really just have like one channel to move across, it's better for mech. So, I think it's a good mech map, but I'll say this: I don't know Terran that well, and we tend to see more bio follow-ups on the map. So maybe bio can be a little better here, but I think mech is also just as fine. Every base has a Vespian Geyser. The third isn't too far away for Terran to hold. But yeah, I do think it's a good mech map.
XiaoShuai only with 3 Mutas and follow up with the Lurkers, I assume, because this Hydra then was very quick. So if TerrOr will decide to go for the mech, his academy timing will be very late, and he might have no detection. He just does the factory, so he will have no tanks. So this Lurker follow up might be actually brilliant from the XiaoShuai.
At worst case scenario, I think he'll get a pretty good contain, and be able to delay maybe TerrOr's move out for quite some time. TerrOr actually scouting across the map with these 3 Valkyries and a Wraith, sees some Zerglings but nothing else. I don't think he knows about the Hydralisk yet or the Lurkers, so maybe this is exactly what XiaoShuai needs to take this game. Still though, Overlord's falling. It's not going to be long until XiaoShuai is supply blocked once again in this game. And yeah, if you're XiaoShuai, you're all in here. These lurkers need to be the killing blow.
Yeah, definitely. But on the other hand, TerrOr needs a bunker, and he's just adding the bunker, but I think it's a little bit too close to the wall, so the lurkers will be able to range it. And 4 lurkers is definitely enough to kill one bunker, especially. Oh, there is 4 marines in the main base, so he will have an option to evacuate to the main base, and it will be also an option with the Zerg with such a low economy. So this walling is working great for TerrOr.
Yeah, great wall. Still though, as you stated, that's 4 lurkers so far. Wall gets torn down immediately, and the SCVs can't even get a repair off. All of the SCVs falling. And yeah, TerrOr going to be forced to back up here. But, oh man, I feel like maybe XiaoShuai can do it here.
Yeah, it looks like he does. Like, TerrOr is doing very good job with blocking the main entrance with the bunker, so maybe he will have enough time to make a bunker on the high ground, but it doesn't seem like he have a vessel yet. No factory yet, and those Valkyries are not attacking the.
Yeah, Valkyrie's, definitely not able to really help out with this situation here. He doesn't have the bunker either. This is go time. XiaoShuai moving up the ramp, going to prevent this bunker from getting up, and kills off the final bio here from TerrOr. I think he's done it. Yeah, GG called out from TerrOr.
Brilliant play from the Zerg, incredible game. Like, I thought that TerrOr had this game, and it was the one shot, and XiaoShuai thought, okay, so I can do it this way, and he did it. Incredible.
Yeah, like you said, one shot. It was really the only way he could win that. He was about to be permanently supply blocked for the rest of the game with those Valkyries and that Wraith running around. But yeah, XiaoShuai getting that Hydra Den down, going for that lurker timing, and it's exactly what he needed to pull out a win in a lost game, honestly. So very, very well done from there. Maybe if TerrOr had a couple bunkers ready, in time, there's something he could have done. Or even if when the Valkyrie Wraith moved out, he barely missed scouting those Hydras moving across the map. It might have given him the reaction time he needed, but still, well played from both players, and XiaoShuai going to take the lead in the series 2-1 so far.
Yeah. And the build order definitely. That when I think about this entire best of 5, the strategy of TerrOr was actually brilliant, going double Aatrox first 2 games. Then you can actually expect some kind of early pool opening in the Monopoly, and that was a very good strategy choice to land this factory to deal so much damage. But somehow XiaoShuai he knew how to respond to that. So that's incredible, because this is a very rare situation.
It is. It's a very rare situation, and it's a very poor situation to be in, I felt like, for XiaoShuai. Remember, the start of that was off of a failed 9 pool versus a wall into Vultures getting in the main and killing so many drones, forcing a sunken. Like, no part of that beginning went well, I feel like, for XiaoShuai, and he still had such a strong timing and was able to come out ahead. If you're TerrOr, you gotta be feeling a little bad about that one. You got to be kicking yourself a little bit, because that was definitely a game that he should have won, it felt like.
Yeah, definitely. He's probably watching the replay right now, or analyzing the game, what was wrong and what he could have done betterly. And now he has his own map. We can see that he's picking Overwatch very often. He likes this map, so maybe he has something special prepared for this map.
Yeah, he very much could. What did we see him do earlier? He went mech earlier, I believe, right? Yeah. And it was versus HawK, and it ended up being a pretty strong... wait. Oh, this was the game that HawK ended up... Or this was the map where HawK was actually winning. But TerrOr had like kind of a miraculous comeback off of the 1-1-1, so... I'm sure he'll make some adjustments after their previous series, but with this, we know our players are ready.
Yes.
It's going to be game number 4, TerrOr going up against XiaoShuai on Overwatch. And spawning top left as the red Zerg from China, it is XiaoShuai.
And on the bottom right, this is TerrOr from Peru. So huge thanks to KwarK for opsing those games and for doing the good job as an observer and
Yep,
allowing
yep.
us to focus on opsing, on casting. So that's incredibly helpful. Ooh, and it will be 8 to accept. No, it's going to be super.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing as well, but no, it will end up being just a depot wall off once again. Like you said, TerrOr really seems to favor this wall off style. I wonder, you know, what we could be seeing out of him this game. I wouldn't expect to see something like another proxy factory, but who knows? TerrOr could do stuff like that. This is going to be another 9 pool though out of XiaoShuai. I mean, I guess it worked out for him last game, but I don't know. Against a player that goes wall off so often, I don't feel like 8 racks is really, or 9 pool, excuse me, is really the option.
Yeah, but honestly, I like overpool more than 9 pool. So it's it will give him an option to go for the hatchery before the links. So I think this is just a defensive opening, but we can see that he will opt for scouting with this overpool. So usually I thought that if you are going overpool, you can skip scouting, but he's going for the scouting and overpool, so that's extra defensive play.
Yeah, it's a 9 pool, not an overpool, so even less economy than normal. I feel like. Oh wait, was it a 9 pool?
No,
it was overpool. My bad.
Overpool,
My bad.
yeah.
It was overpool. Okay, my bad. I misread that. Yeah. So I guess, you know, the fact that he's not making lings, this is kind of okay. You could really macro your way out of it. Drone will be trapped though. That's a dead drone, but it does end up scouting the gas inside the main.
And he can see that, yeah, that the gas is here. So to be honest, what we didn't see yet from TerrOr is raids, and it might be a raids map. He's showing that he's not mining gas, and I'm pretty sure that this is a mine play. Once this drone will be killed, he will. At least what I'm expecting is what I would expect as a Zerk in this situation after seeing that, after those games. But let's see, maybe it will be actually a normal game from TerrOr, because this is what he played against HawK as well, right? He played fast vessel style.
He did 1-1-1 like into very quick vessels, and I mean that was his game with his miraculous comeback. So he's very strong with it. He understands the build very well, so we very much could see that here. But this drone from XiaoShuai being so annoying, I think even if he wanted to go 2-port Wraith, I don't think he'd be able to. I think XiaoShuai would have scouted it out here. So very well done from XiaoShuai.
Yeah, very nicely done. I didn't understand why he was scouting with the drone, but now I understand it, because otherwise the Lynx would have a hard time scouting with this Whirling. The Overlord wouldn't see that much, only the command center timing. So it's actually very smart to scout with this drone.
Yeah, it really is. That drone finally falling though, and Vultures should be able to get on the map. Sunken Colony already completing for XiaoShuai, so not really much of a chance for XiaoShuai to run by with Zerglings or something like that. Especially because of this wall, or no chance for TerrOr to run by with that Vulture, rather, with that sunken up. Spire down inside the main for XiaoShuai.
You know, Machine, I know why he went overpool, because in the game against HawK he blocked his natural with the engineering bay, so maybe that's why he went overpool.
Yeah, I think you could be right. That's a pretty smart read. Man, that eBay block is so annoying to deal with if you're a Zerg, so I kind of like that on a 2-player map.
But this will be very, very fast Spire, and we've seen how nicely HawK was able to punish TerrOr for not having too many units, but we can see that it's going to be Goliath's follow-up.
Yeah, Mech once again out of TerrOr. You know, he's had some great Mech play today, and as I was saying before, I think this is a good map for Mech. So I kind of like the call here. I just hope that this is not the 2-base all-in style Mech. I just really hope we see three factories or whatever into 3rd command center and play it out for the long game, because TerrOr's already shown he's so good, you know, if he's not going for that all-in Mech timing.
Ooh, but that's very nice Vulture. He will be able to scout the timing of the Mutas and also pull some drones from mining. So that's where TerrOr is so powerful.
the focus firing on that Vulture, getting 2 drone kills already, forcing more and more drones to be pulled. And this is annoying because mutas are almost out. This Vulture has like red HP. He just can't quite get it. Okay, finally Vulture does go down, but not before yet another drone falls here from XiaoShuai.
Yeah, 12 o'clock expansion follow-up from XiaoShuai. But
I like that.
Yeah, I like that as well, because what Terran can do after this follow-up, usually Terran is afraid of losing from mutas, so you can use this time to build up your economy. Sometimes even Zergs are pretending that they are going for a lot of mutas, but actually what they're doing is they're like building 5 mutas and droning up behind it and adding more hatcheries, but we can see that it's going to be more mutas.
Yeah, I like the read as well. A lot of the times, you know, because Zerg have this map control, they can kind of just infinitely drone for a little bit. So, it looks like we are seeing some drones being produced here for XiaoShuai, resaturating that main for all those drones that are lost. But yeah, look at this though. No, there's not many drones in the main. Yeah. XiaoShuai is still very much hurting. I almost think he would have been better off to stick on 5 mutas like you said, and maybe just drone. But now when you make this mini muta, you got to get some damage done with it. So he is going into the natural here. First SCV falls, but TerrOr with a good amount of turrets and Goliaths at the ready, not really allowing too many SCVs to get picked off here.
So what are the follow-ups for Zerg right now? You can drone up and go for the Hydras or go for the mass mutas, right? Those are the 2 follow-ups.
It depends. If you can scout out that Terran is going for a 3rd base, then you can actually a lot of times go straight into Queen as well. So he kind of needs to read the factory count first, I think. And we're just seeing the 3 factories so far out of TerrOr. And what that tells me is this is most likely just going to be a 3rd base follow-up. Like, there's no plans for TerrOr to do a 2-base all-in Goliath timing, so that's the first thing he needed to rule out. And so, yes, you can go Muta into Hydra, or a lot of the times you see more of the pros go into getting a Queen's Nest earlier and at least get Queen energy going and just remain on pure Muta for now. Like, these Muta that he has, there's nothing that Terran can really do at the moment. He needs to just kind of be okay with the Muta count that he currently has and drone this 3rd base as quickly as possible.
And which upgrade do you think is better for mutas against mech? It's Carapace or attack upgrade?
I always like Carapace, because there's 2 missiles that shoot out of the Goliaths. They each are reduced by, the 1 armor, and I think sustainability kind of trumps damage the majority of the time. So I don't know. Personally, I do like Carapace over the attack upgrade.
Yeah, but if I understand correctly, the armor from Terran is also reducing the damage of the bouncing shots from the mutas, right?
Yes, it does.
So if you will go for the attack upgrade, then it goes back to to dealing more damage with the bouncing shot, right?
Yeah, it does. I honestly just do whatever like Soma does, and
makes sense.
I think Soma just goes armor all the time, so I just start trying to copy it.
This is a lot of mutas. This might be the main base breached. This is like 24 mutas with +1 armor. TerrOr has like 8 Goliaths over here.
There is a lot of turrets though, and more turrets being built in the main. Yeah, Goliaths coming in from the natural as well. But yeah, this is so many mutas from XiaoShuai getting on top of all these Goliaths. But at the same time, he's being spread between so many turrets. I don't know. I'm not. He might. TerrOr might be able to hold here.
Yeah, it looks like he will. Like, I really love the reaction that he started to build additional turrets in the weird locations. So he will have a zone where he can go back with the Goliaths to escape with the mutas, with the Goliaths from the mutas. At the same time, TerrOr is trying to apply some pressure with the Vultures. I really love this multitasking from him. But there are more mutas, 11 mutas even. So incredible harassment, incredible pressure coming out from XiaoShuai.
from both. All the drones were moved at the third at the same time, but yeah, I mean, all of these turrets falling, and if he's able to pick off that science facility, I think TerrOr could be in a lot of trouble here. eBay even falling for TerrOr. Oh
this
my
link
gosh!
is fat. It's like me. Oh my god.
He's so fat, man.
Oh
He's
my
the
God.
fattest Earthling. Just blocking that ramp.
Oh my god,
Wow.
this is incredible. Oh, this is a little bit overextension from Zerg, at least it looks this way, so it... Oh, is it?
I think he's held. I think he had the turret count he needed. And now I'm a little worried for XiaoShuai. If we look at the drone count at the third, it's really not where it needs to be. Tanks didn't fall. And this is still just 3 hatcheries from XiaoShuai, where right now you would normally want to be on something closer to 4 or 5 hatcheries.
Yeah,
Vessel is exposed though.
We can see that he's droning up right now. I think the irradiate is ready right now, so he needs to be careful to not target fire the irradiated Muta, but nice hold from Luke Boy. Ooh,
Wow,
and the
Luke
sneaky
Boy.
vulture.
Another sneaky vulture here, just preventing more and more mining. Honestly, just being annoying, on the map here is TerrOr with these little vulture counts. And actually, third command center going down in the main, that really, to me, signifies, all right, TerrOr feels like he's in a confident position and is prepared to hold a third base.
Yeah, but why he's only on 3 factories? It looks like his income is, his economy is very relatively healthy. So I'm wondering why he is not building additional factories.
I think the gas off of just 2 base Terran, when you're going vessels, it can be difficult to get the gas you need to be able to produce those factories, because so much of it is allocated towards vessels, I mean, he's getting upgrades as well, but he'll probably build that factory count up here shortly, though.
Yeah, here we can see that third command center will be done soon. So many drones from XiaoShuai right now, and Queens.
Ooh, Queens. Yeah, it feels like a little too late. You can't kind of delay the Queens like this. This might be the anti-timing. Queens also spawning without energy upgrade. Yeah, XiaoShuai recognizes it and calls it. So TerrOr, very well done there, taking that game down. Barely had a very nice hold in the main. Great vulture harasses we've seen from him time and time again. And yeah, took a wonderful game there versus XiaoShuai, and that's going to force our game number 5 here out of these 2 players. It's gonna be exciting, man. TerrOr, you can't ever count him out, even when things aren't looking great. He just kind of hangs in there and makes the game get hectic and chaotic, and just somehow hangs on and pulls it out there. Yeah, I think the vulture getting in the main once again that last game was really kind of the turning point. It felt like he was able to pick off quite a few drones in the main, was able to delay so much mining at a very critical point, and it just felt like XiaoShuai decided to produce so many mutas from there and did not really allocate any resources for his economy. So he almost put himself a little all in with that mass muta timing, and wasn't really able to have the proper follow-up to a expanding Terran like TerrOr.
And I think it all comes down to this first vulture that sneaked in and killed a couple of drones, because that's then it snowed the ball into having much worse economy for XiaoShuai. So actually those small things, small engagements, small harassments matter so much, even in the later stage.
Yeah, they absolutely do, man. I mean, TerrOr's had some phenomenal vulture control in this series, as we expect from him. He is just so good at finding those little edges, and eking out, as much as he can from every single unit in his arsenal. So yeah, very well done there once again from TerrOr. And man, it's I don't know, man. I'm a little worried for XiaoShuai here. TerrOr really looking strong, and I feel like he's kind of carrying the energy and the momentum here going into game number 5.
Yeah, this is definitely much more confident boost for you if you win the last game, and now it's up to your opponent, especially that it wasn't some kind of a weird opening, it was a normal opening, not 8 racks, normal supply depot. So now XiaoShuai will probably think, okay, so you started 8 racks first 2 games, and you started normally for the second 2 games. So what will you do now? Especially that the game is going to be on Vermeer, so this is a huge map. Double the middle exists on this map, right? The
Right.
middle.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. You know what's in the back of my mind is the possibility of a 5 pool. If you know your opponent is a Terran player that loves to open either wall off or 8 racks, I mean 5 pool counters both of those fairly well. But the question is, do you want to risk going a 5 pool game 5 in a series like this? But based on their track record, maybe XiaoShuai just opts for something like a 5 pool and ends the game quickly.
Oh, if he will go for 5 pool, it will be incredible cojones play from him. Like, I can't imagine how big of a balls you need to have to play the 5 pool in the final games, especially that both of the players probably are sure that if the game will come out to the middle game without being delayed too much, I'm a better player. Both players probably have this feeling. So going for 5 pool and losing because some kind of a wall-in or not executing something correctly might be a little bit too risky, but maybe you need to do the risks like that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, especially against a player as strong as TerrOr. So it's probably in XiaoShuai's bag of tricks. I'm sure he's thinking of each and every single one of these matches as they happen, and I want to just say there's a greater than 0% chance that we could see a 5 pool here. But both these players, as you said, they probably feel so strong and so confident in their play. They don't need to pull out a gimmicky build like that in order to win. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we can see that both players are in the game. I can see that on the KwarK screen, because KwarK is doing opsync for us, and he is starting the game on Vermeer. So we are ready to jump into the game. So let's get to the last game of today. Winner of this game is going to advance and face Boa, and loser of this game will be eliminated from BSL.
And spawning bottom left as the red Zerg from China, it is XiaoShuai.
Yeah, and in the top left, we are having TerrOr representing Peru.
So Vermeer, very big map. Definitely, I'd say kind of similar-ish to Fighting Spirit. Not really the same, but large 4-player map, a lot of gas bases. Really a great map to witness late game Zerg versus Terran. So we'll kind of have to see if something interesting like that happens. That's funny. He doesn't wall off this one game. I wonder if maybe even TerrOr was a little concerned about something like a 5 pool, but either way, not going to be the case here. XiaoShuai, yep.
Yeah, is it possible to wall in on Vermeer?
I think you can. Yeah, I think you could go depot barracks at the natural on this map.
Okay. So that's definitely questionable. I wonder why. Maybe because of the scouting position, because in this situation XiaoShuai would have huge information with that scouting, but he will still see the STV with the overload, so he will know that TerrOr is actually here. At least I think he saw it. I actually don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It was close, but yeah, we're seeing the drone move to the right, so maybe I'm assuming he didn't see the SCV. It's just my assumption. But we do have a very standard hatch pool gas going down here. This looks to be typical 2-hatch layer play out of XiaoShuai. And this is really you know, finally the first time we've seen this from Terra. It's just a standard barracks in the main, no gas, probably going 1 racks into expand here. And I mean, this is like quintessential Terran versus Zerg play, and honestly something that I think Terra is great at. So I'm excited we finally get to see his standard bio play.
Yeah, finally after 4 games, in the 5th game we will set a standard play from both players. And so this is 12 hatch into fast layer against fast command center from TerrOr. But it usually indicates that if you're not going gas till this time, it usually indicates that it's going to be Marines and Medic forward, right?
Yes, it usually would indicate, yeah, it's probably going to be a second barracks into, you know, taking gas, getting the academy, all that kind of stuff. So I do expect to definitely see bio play here out of Terror. Bunker going down at the natural, I don't know if I like that personally. He has the SCV in the main. He has seen only these first 2 Zerglings be produced. I really would have liked to see Terror maybe allocate the resources elsewhere early here, but I guess he just wants to play. He just wants to prevent any risky things from going on, I guess.
Yeah, probably yes. And also maybe he's playing some kind of a mind play that he shows supply depot. The Overlord sees only supply depot, he doesn't see bunker, so maybe he will force some additional links from XiaoShuai because of that. Because he looks like very vulnerable to it. I don't know the word, but he looks very open for any harassment, and he's even having Marines in front of the supply depot just to force some additional links. But it looks like XiaoShuai isn't falling for that, right?
Yeah, we're not seeing any more lings being produced here out of XiaoShuai. Only 1 on gas after that +1 is started here for Terror, so really doing his best to optimize his mineral mining. Spire down in the main here for Zerg. And whenever you see eBay with that +1, we know this is going to somewhat be a delayed timing out of Terror. He's not looking to pressure with any kind of early, you know, Marine medic timing. He's just going to focus on getting his econ up and playing from there. 3rd hatch in the main for our Zerg player, and Sunken even going down at the natural. So both these players, I feel like, playing overly cautious in this game number 5.
Yeah, this is the elimination match and advancement match at the same time. And actually this is a very good map to show your true potential, because it's a huge map, you can play a great macro game over here. And I really like this 3rd hatchery in the main base, because usually you can take this 3rd hatchery in some kind of expansion, in another respawn, but as you said, this is a very cautious play, also because of this hatchery in the main base, right?
Yeah, the hatchery in the main base as well as the Sunken. I think other Zergs might have not put the Sunken down quite so early without seeing medics. But yeah, very, very cautious and very safe. You know, there's no way Terror can move across the map right now and break this natural positioning of XiaoShuai. But at the same time, because of that, he's delayed his own 3rd, right? He could, as you said, have placed that 3rd hatchery bottom right or 6 o'clock, or, you know, hidden it somewhere on the map. So the longer he does that, the longer he's kind of also delaying his 3rd gas. It's kind of something to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely. So he's expecting Terror to play, because you can play on 2 bases if Terran is not going for the faster vessel, if he's going for 4 or 5 racks, and this is actually what TerrOr is doing right now, so it might work out for XiaoShuai if he will deal some good damage to the SCV line or keep Terran at the base for a longer time. 7 mutas only for now, and I'm assuming he's the only guy behind.
He's got that magic muta number. They can start just one-shotting each of these workers. Terror not quite in position with his bio to be able to save this mineral line at all. But he is doing a good job pulling these SCVs away. Looks like maybe we are going to have a bio move out. And I'm not sure if XiaoShuai knows about this.
Yeah, I think it goes unnoticed. So it might be actually beautiful play from TerrOr if he will not die here, because we can see a lot of links coming in. One Marine will probably show that something is...
Yeah, that's really unfortunate there. But the bio is moving in towards this natural. I know we at least have the one sunken, and actually Muta's moving back here, but bio able to get some good connections on a few of those Muta, and it looks like TerrOr actually just opting to run towards the bottom right side of the map here. Wow, there's only 5 SCVs at the natural for TerrOr, so much damage still being done to that economy of TerrOr here. He's got to get some damage done with this Bioforce.
Yeah, definitely. He has to either deal a lot of damage or come back and merge it with another group, because he can lose this bio ball for free, definitely. And the latency is not helping XiaoShuai for sure, but like back in the days in the ICC Cup, this is the latency we usually used to play, right? So maybe it's not that terrible, but on the other hand, if you get used to micro on 224 low, you want to do it. Oh, but this is very bold counter attack. I don't like it from the side.
I don't like it at all. He's right on top of the bio. Turrets were in perfect placement, and all of the mutas go down. TerrOr's done it. I think he just did it right there. He just shredded that force of XiaoShuai. This Bioforce still on the map has gone unhindered, and there's no third base in sight, no Queen's Nest, no Hydroden. Wow, what? I mean, XiaoShuai has no drones behind this, it looks like.
Yeah, he just spent a lot of money and a lot of drones on the 5 Sunkens because he expected that TerrOr will counter-attack him. The worst thing that TerrOr can do right now is attack into those Sunkens, because he doesn't necessarily have to do it, but he's doing that, so this is a chance for XiaoShuai to come back. TerrOr looting all his bio on this Sunkens, and...
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this was a mistake. I don't think he needed to move into the Sunkens at all. He could have just kept, his position and contain the Zerg, natural. But unfortunately, he's gonna end up losing this Bioforce, and suddenly XiaoShuai back in it.
Yeah. So 2 mistakes, one from each of the guys, and it looks like XiaoShuai comes as a victor from those trades because he has 10 supply advantage. On the other hand, he's only on 2 bases, so in the long run it should give some advantage to the Terran.
Let's see if Zerg overextends again. I mean, he was doing so good until he just moved into that bio turret force, with a bunker and tried to run in with the Lings here. It looks like he is moving into the main. Okay, we'll be able to delay this science facility. Picks off a couple SCVs, but TerrOr getting his Bioforce into position here. Ooh,
nice micro.
Big, really good micro actually from both.
It's hard for TerrOr because he badly needs this vessel to stay in this game.
I think he canceled that. Oh, he's remaking another one. Very nice.
I like it. There is only 2 turrets in the main base, and with +1 weapon on the Mutas, it's actually very easy to pick up those turrets.
Yeah, you can 2-shot him once you have that +1 with 11 Mutas, so that's why it's a pretty big deal here. But yeah, XiaoShuai, man, just getting so much damage done in this main. TerrOr just doesn't quite have the Bioforce he needs to kind of push this off. At the same time, though, there is no follow-up here from XiaoShuai. There's no third. This is going to be pure Muta once again, and he needs to end this game right now.
Yeah, he needs to win it with the Mutas, so it's a similar situation we had between HawK and TerrOr on Overwatch, where TerrOr is taking so much damage from the Mutas, but actually HawK also had a third base where XiaoShuai is playing only on 2 bases, so this is all in from his side, but if he will build the starport before the vessel will come out, it will be a really powerful thing.
Yeah, I mean, you almost want to say this is game. He'll have a vessel, and I think he's going to have Irradiate, but I mean, this needs to be like the Irradiate of all Irradiates if he wants to win this game. More and more bio falling here, eBay under fire, more and more SCVs going down in the main here, Bioforce falling from TerrOr.
It's only 6 Mutas left, 4 racks, constant marine production. This is close game, but the question is, how good will be the split?
Yeah, exactly. How good will the split be with that irradiate? And I don't know, man. There is definitely no follow-up here. Oh, wow. Still, though, Zergling's getting on top of the remainder of this bio. Vessel is still alive. Goes for the irradiate, but pretty good pull there out of XiaoShuai, and the final turrets are falling. There's just nothing here to really defend these mutas. Wow, another massive flock of muta coming in to prevent any more marine production here out of TerrOr. So even though XiaoShuai very committed with this muta force, it seems to be exactly what he needs in order to take this game. Another medic falling, it looks like. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a world where TerrOr manages to hold just through turrets or something like that, but still, it's not looking too great here for our Peruvian Terran.
Does he have a starport in the natural? Maybe that, and maybe he's building a Valkyria. Maybe that's an option. Actually, no.
Or a vessel or something. No. Yeah. This looks like the beginning of the end here. More Lings going inside the main here. They should have free reign over all these turrets, all of these barracks that are remaining here for TerrOr. XiaoShuai getting on top of this Bioforce once again, tanking some of these turret shots, but all of the remaining Marines will fall. And looks like, yeah, these Zerglings should just be able to tear down what's left of these turrets. Oh, another big irradiate coming in here. Nice pull, though, once again, from XiaoShuai on this Muta, as you'd expect from this guy. He's just had such incredible Muta control all throughout this event so far.
And there's no production for there.
Yeah, there's just no production left for TerrOr. GG is called there, and that means XiaoShuai will be moving on here to face Boa. So well played once again. Man, TerrOr just time and time again had some incredible games. He really, has that mental fortitude, showed us a lot of different styles of TVZ today, but unfortunately with that will be his tournament lifeline into this season of BSL. Still, former BSL champ, someone we are dearly looking forward to watching yet again next season, BSL 16. But XiaoShuai will now be moving on after that victory to face off against Boa in the loser bracket round 3.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting PVZ, and I know that Nkubobo in the chat, the guys who along with Jindy helping us with scheduling the Chinese players, he said that XiaoShuai has the best ZVP in China nowadays. So that's going to be interesting. That he's winning more often with Zanhun than losing. So that's incredible. That's incredible match coming up.
Yeah, that's extremely incredible. Especially after seeing Janhoon's play so far, if that's the case, then Boa definitely gonna have his work cut out for him to get that victory. But he's more than capable of doing it. Obviously, looks like both of our lower bracket rounds are going to be Zerg versus Protoss. The other classic matchup being Ziki going up against Boneth as well. That's going to be another fan favorite match for sure. Yeah. Ziki showing some incredible play so far in this tournament, and Boneth obviously multiple time BSL champ. Protoss, one of the best here. These are going to be nothing but very exciting matches from here on out.
So the next Saturday we're gonna have Boa versus XiaoShuai and Ziki versus Bonnie, and next Sunday we're gonna have DeWalt versus Zanhun and loser bracket semifinals. So this is the schedule, guys. So if you've been wondering how it's going to be played, this is how it's going to be scheduled. Of course, it might change. I need to discuss it with the players, but this is the initial plan.
Yeah. Well, it seems like that should be fun. Next weekend should have some incredible matches between Boa XiaoShuai, Ziki Boneth, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly. It looks nice, and we actually have 6 players left in BSL. DeWalt, Zanhun, Boa, XiaoShuai, Ziki, and Bonnie. So those are hardcore names.
They are. I mean, they're really just some incredible names. I just realized TerrOr was the last Terran left in the tournament as well. So nothing but the best of the Zergs and the Protoss from here on out. But yeah, as you said, these are the hardcore names. These are the best of the best. These are, just the cream of the crop. The the best players we have left. So this is going to be nothing but exciting matches from here on out.
So, Machine, you are more experienced in thanking to our fantastic sponsors and Patreon. Will you be able to do it?
Absolutely, man. Love to. So first and foremost, gotta thank OptiMonk here, the main sponsor of the BSL15. Thank you so much to Chameleon, and thank you for all the support that you give BSL all throughout this series. It's been, quite an amazing tournament thus far. Many, many months of support, and now that we're getting down to it, please everybody thank OptiMonk for making all this happen. Also, we'd like to thank our Patreons at the Bombastic General level. We'd like to thank Starlover, $100 a month. Thank you, buddy, so much for all of your support. At the Colonel level, $50 a month. We'd like to thank Anthony Chen, Martin Harsmar, Striker, and Zero Sum. Thank you. At the Bombastic Major Plus level, $30 a month. We'd like to thank Robert Groot, Flazardo86, Cause, and Tupacalypse. And at the $20 a month major level, Nicholas Schuler, Christian Eddington, LML, Ling Pump, Niantic, and of course our observer for the day, KwarK. And just a big thank you in general to any and everybody who supports BSL. There is no donation too small. Thank you all for the support. Every dollar goes so far to making Foreign Brood War happen. Really appreciate you all, and keep supporting the BSL.
We also have the hats, which I actually recently I became the hat guy, because it's pretty hot outside, and I ordered one for myself, so it should arrive in like 2 to 3 weeks, but I forgot to promote it. But we also have the shop, which is still going, so if you guys want some merch to just have support BSL but also have some souvenir out of that, that's a good way to support.
Oh, coffee mug, man. I'm a big coffee drinker. I'll probably have to pick one of those up.
Yeah,
all right.
That might be nice. But I think this is it for today, Mr. Machine.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, thank you for having me as usual, Zero. Thanks for making all this happen. You're incredible co-caster. Also like to thank Raz, who had to step off earlier, for co-casting with me. Big thank you to KwarK, making all of this North American observing possible. And, just thanks everybody once again for tuning in here week after week, and looking forward to seeing you all next week.
Yeah, thank you guys, and see you next week. Bye-bye.